handling and spinning. That's what we're going to go over today. Now, you know there's basic fundamentals of ball handling, and there's also creative fundamentals. And that's what I'm going to show you today. The basic fundamentals, the creative fundamentals. You're going to have a lot of fun doing these drills. They're a lot of fun. Why did I do them? To break the monotony of what I was doing in the gym all day long. When I was 9 years old, between 9 and 10 years old, I was in the drugstore in Clemson, South Carolina. And of course I had my basketball. And I started spinning the ball just like this. And a friend of mine came in with a bunch of his friends. And he said, I tell you what, he said, I bet you can't spin that ball on your finger for an hour. And of course some of my friends, go ahead, Pete, you can do it. Show them you can do it. And I said, well, okay, I'll bet you $5. So a bunch of kids got around and we were in the drugstore and I started spinning the ball, you see. I was just spinning it on this one finger. I spun it on this finger, and this is called fanning the ball. I spun it on this finger for about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. And all of a sudden, the nail started to wear down and it started to blister and I started to get a little blood from that finger. And I noticed this guy, and he was laughing. They were laughing back and forth. But you know what I did? I just changed fingers. That's all I did. You see? He wasn't laughing after that. After about 10 more minutes, I changed to this finger. You see? And then after about 10 more minutes, I changed to this one. And then I went to this hand. See? I went back. But I kept it going. I just kept it going for 1 hour. And I got my $5. But it took me $15 to fix my hands back up. So don't do that. But it's good because when I was a kid, that's all I wanted to do. Whatever I could do with a basketball, dribbling it or ball handling, spinning, I wanted to do. And that's what this video is all about. The skills of learning how to handle the ball, different drills, fundamental basic drills, and creative fundamental drills. So get ready, get your ball, and let's do our homework. The first basic ball handling drill I want to show you, it's a warm-up drill. Not only is it a warm-up drill, it's a good stretching drill for the entire body to start into this ball handling. So you get your ball right now and let's go into it. It's called Squeeze the Banana. Now, it got that name because what you want to do is you want to extend your arms completely out like this over your head. You want to lock your elbows. Now, the big thing about doing these drills is to execute them. Don't try to cheat. Just execute them. And as you do them repetitively more and more, you'll get better at it. So don't forget, arms out like this. The ball, of course, is in the right hand or the left hand. Your elbows are locked. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze the ball. Literally squeeze the ball out of my hand like this. Back and forth, just like this. And what this is doing, well, I'm telling you what it's doing. It is really strengthening my fingers, my fingertips. It's really strengthening my wrist. You see, I'm not tapping the ball. I'm absolutely squeezing it out. Now, if you did this for a minute, 2 to 3 minutes, your arms will just cave in. Try it sometime. Try to do it for 3 minutes. Just squeeze back and forth. Lock your arms out. That's called Squeeze the Banana. Do it. Next drill on tap is just that, the tap drill. Now, where does that come from? Well, again, what you want to do is you want to warm up, okay? But you want to strengthen your fingertips while you're doing that. Because when you strengthen your fingertips, how's that going to come into play? When you dribble a basketball, when you catch the basketball, when you pass the basketball, and when you shoot the basketball. You got to have strong fingertips. You have a strong grip on the ball. You have strong wrists, and that's what these ball handling drills do. They will strengthen you. They'll make your hands that much quicker. You'll have better reaction time on the court with your hands, with your body. You'll be more coordinated. So the tap drill, same difference. Just like the squeeze the banana, we're going to extend our elbows out, but this time we're going to tap the ball back and forth. See, we're just going to tap it back and forth like this. Elbows are extended now. It's very important that you lock those elbows. Now the object of this drill, we're going to go all the way down like this, tapping the ball with the elbows extended all the way to this area, and then back up. Now, what happens? Normally, what will happen is this. Let's start to do it, and I'll show you what will happen. Okay, we start tapping. Elbows extended. Let's go down now. Keep it going back and forth. Elbows extended. That's right. That's right. Keep going. Keep going. What happened? What happened? Tell me. You know what happened. You lost the ball. Where'd you lose it? You lost it right when you got to here. It came out of your hands. You know why you lost it? I'm going to tell you why. Because your hands, they're not strengthened enough. They're not. You got to have strong hands. You got to have strong fingertips. That's why these drills will strengthen your fingertips. So let's get back up. Try to control it now. Let's tap it. Okay, elbows locked out. That's right. Tap it back and forth. All the way down. Tap it. Keep it in there. Oh, it's tough right in here. This is where it's tough. Now come back up. That's right. Come back up. That's right. Let's go down one more time. Come on. I know it hurts. Hurts me too. Come on. Keep through. Come on. Keep going. Keep it down here. That's right. Try to do it right here. Boy, it's tough. Come on back up now. Oh, this is fun, isn't it? Yeah, right. Why'd you quit then? Don't quit. Keep going. The tap drill. Boy, that'll strengthen your arms, your shoulder. It'll strengthen your hands, your fingertips. It'll give you good quick movement between. It's a good warm-up drill. First we had squeeze the banana, then the tap drill. Now we're going to do the pendulum swing. Again, the pendulum swing is a drill that's just going to strengthen our fingertips. It's going to strengthen our fingertips. That's what we want to do. It's a warm-up drill we want to strengthen. Now what do? Here's what we're going to do. Take the ball in one hand. Remember, this is like a suction cup. Make sure you got that hand over it. Just like the tentacles of an octopus. You want that hand right over it like this. Now, turn your hand over. We're going to go back and forth and really push it into that cup. Push it in, see? Push it. And then just lower. Just a pendulum swing, see? A pendulum swing. Back and forth, see? It looks simple. It looks real simple until you get higher and higher, see? Then you got to have more control. You got to maintain more control, see? That's it. Keep going. That's it. Way up. Way up. Get it in there. That's right. The pendulum swing. Do it. Next drill we're going to talk about is the flip roll. Now we just took you through some strengthening drills. Squeeze a banana, tap drill, the pendulum swing. So you should be warmed up at this point. Now, what we're going to get into now is the reaction part, the quickness part, the coordinating part of the drills. These ball handling drills are creative, and they're also going to make you quicker. They're going to make you faster. You're going to have more concentration. But they're also going to affect your game a great deal because they're going to be positive things for your game if you can learn how to do these drills. The first one is called the flip roll. What you want to do, I was taught this by Gator Rivers, who plays with the Harlem Globetrotters. He taught me this little drill, and I couldn't do it at the beginning either. It didn't take me very long to get it, but once you get it, it's a good drill from a quickness standpoint and a coordinating standpoint. Take the ball in your hand like this, and what you want to do is flip the ball over and make it come over the back of your hand. See? Over the back of your hand. Flip it, over the back. Flip it, over the back. Then you bring your left hand in. As it's flipping over that hand, you bring your left hand in. It's going over here, and then you have to flip your hand over and catch it. You see? So it's here, here, and catch it. See? Here, here, and catch it. See? Here, bring that left hand in and catch it. See? Catch it. Back this way, catch it. Catch it. Catch it. Catch it. The flip roll. See? Real simple once you learn it. It's a good drill. Boy, if you did this, take this to your daddy. Say, look, Dad, I want to show you the flip roll. Do that for him. That's positive. Hey, let me tell you, that's a good conditioning drill. It's called Around the World. It's a ball handling drill. It's for coordination. It's for hand quickness. It's for stretching you out. It's a great warm-up drill. You can do it to music. It's an exhausting drill. Good conditioning drill. But first off, you must understand that these drills are to make you handle the ball better. So that when you're dribbling it, when you're catching it, when you're passing it, when you're spinning, whatever you have to do, when you're grabbing the ball off the board, you'll be able to handle the ball that much better. That's what these drills are for. So remember, the first thing we're going to do here on this Around the World is around the head, okay? Around the head. First thing we're going to do is go around just like this. Now, if you're 5, 6, 7 years old, get you a small ball, a real little ball. Take the ball, go around, bring your left hand behind, catch it like this. Bring your right arm over, see? Bring it back, just like this. That's right, just like that. Don't go above the head. That's cheating. Don't cheat. Just execute, okay? Go behind, catch. Now, when you learn to do that, then you want to just start passing the ball. Passing the ball behind, see? Passing it behind. Now, my left hand becomes like an electronic eye, okay? It's my eye. I lose sight of the ball here. I'm passing it, and I've got to be able to feel that ball. I know it's coming. It's just intuition, whatever you want to call it. It's there. I know it's there, all right? So, just pass it like this. That's right. Back and forth. See? That's it. Just keep going. Now, what we want to do is, we want to just get a little bit faster. Keep that head stationary and go all the way around like this. That's right. That's it right there. That's around the top of the head. Part 1 of Around the World. Hey, it's fun. Around the World, Part 2, Around the Waist. This is the second part. We went around the head, okay? We learned how to do that. Now we're going to learn how to go around the waist. Of course, you've done this before, but maybe you haven't done it as intensified as you should do it, because this is a great ball handling drill when you get all the way through it to warm you up and everything else, and especially condition you to make your hands quicker, to make them quicker. You're really going to feel this in your arms and your shoulders. If you did this drill for 3 straight minutes, you'd be laying on the floor. That's how difficult it is. If you do it as hard as you can, that's where you'd be on the floor, unless you're in tremendous condition. I know I'd be on the floor, okay? So maybe you wouldn't, but I would. Now, what you want to do is, again, we're going to take the ball, we're going to go around, bring that left hand behind, catch it, come back around, just like this. That's how you learn to do it, see? Now, if you're too small, then get a real small basketball. You don't have to have a big basketball. Get a small little basketball, okay? Do the same thing. Even get a tennis ball. If you're only 3 years old, get a tennis ball and just come around like that, okay? Get a tennis ball, just like this. That's right. All right, now, what we want to do is just basically start throwing the ball, see? Throwing the ball. See how I'm throwing it in front, throwing it in back, throwing it. Why? Because when you throw it, then you're going to start to get speed. You're going to get momentum on the drill, okay? On the drill. See, we're going to start doing it just like this, see? Now, when you do this right, and when you're in condition, when you're in shape, you should be able to do, this is 1, 2, 3, you should be able to do 60 to 75 repetitions around your waist in 30 seconds. That's right, 30 seconds. Hey, it's a killer, but I'm tell you what, if you can do 75 of these around your waist, I can tell you one thing, you can handle the basketball, okay? So let's do it a little faster now. Ready? All right, we're going to start doing around. You're tired already, so am I. Let's keep going, ready? Let's do it for a few seconds, ready? Let's go. Come on. Okay, that's Around the Waist, Part 2 of Around the World. Hey, it's fun. It's conditioning drill. Break on through. You can do it. Now, we went around the head, and we went around the waist. And that's around the world. Around the head, around the waist. And you're probably saying, hey, I'm tired. Is there any more to this? Well, there is. There's 2 more parts to this. And we're going to get through them, because you're going to like it. Hey, you got to break through. You got to pass through that pain barrier. That's what this is all about. It's to make you be able to handle the ball better. See, the more repetitious you are when you handle the basketball, the better you're going to become. It's like anything else. If you read a book 500 times, and I'll read it 1 time, who's going to know more about the book? You are. That's just common knowledge. There's no shortcut to success. It's called hard work and commitment. And this is what you got to do with this drill. So let's get into it right now. We're going to put our toes together like this, our feet together, just like this. The object of this is going around right between around our calf. From the knee to the ankle, we're going to go around in this fashion. You're going to bend over. Now look at the hand. Same way as around the waist and around the head. Just pass it around. Make contact, then let go. Again, if you're a real small kid, okay, if you're 6, 7 years old, get a small ball. Get a tennis ball, get a baseball. And do this right here, see? Real slow, see? Don't try to do it fast in the beginning, okay? Now, same thing. We want to go around as fast as we can with this. So let's start building up steam, okay? Come on. Let's just keep going now. That's right. Keep going. Okay, that's around the legs, part 3. Hey, you can do it. Okay, we're down to the last part. It's called in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Now, this is a coordinating part of the drill. It's also the quickness part of the drill. It's going to involve your feet and your legs and your arms and your hands. It's going to require you concentration, conditioning, quickness. It's going to make you a better ball handler. In the fourth quarter, when you get real tired on the court, that's what these drills do. They condition you so that you'll be able to catch the ball. You'll be able to grab that last rebound. You'll be able to get that shot off quicker than you thought you could. Okay? That's what this is for. All right, let's go down here and see. Now, what I'm going to do is just like this. We're going to go around just like the third part. Go around here like this. But there's one difference. One time, when we come around, one time around the legs, we're going to drop back this right foot. Drop it back. Now we're going to go through like this, the left leg. Bring the right foot back up. Now we're going to go all the way around again. Now we're going to drop the left foot. Drop the left foot back. Go through. Come back up with it. All the way around. Let's go over it again. Right foot's back. Get it back. That's right. Go through. Bring it back up. All the way around. Drop that left foot back. That's right. Drop it back. Good. Back up. All the way around. Drop the right back. See? We got this in and out movement. See? In and out. See? In and out. See? See how I'm leaning? See how I've got rhythm? See how I've got harmony? Coordination? Quickness is going to come in a second, okay? In and out, around the world, around the top of the head, around the waist, around the legs, in and out around the ankles. All right? Hey, it's a great drill, great conditioning drill. It's a fun drill. You can do it with time. Don't forget, get 60 or 70 of these in 30 seconds. Build up to a minute, to 2 minutes, to 3 minutes. It's tough to do, but you can do it. Pistol Pete draw. Now this is a drill which requires a great deal of anticipation, a great deal of hand quickness, and you can use your friend, your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, whoever you want. But it's a fun drill to do. Now I'm going to call in a friend of mine. Daryl's going to come on in here. Now let me explain and set this up for you. Now the Pistol Pete draw took place when my dad developed this. I used to always watch Gunsmoke when I was a small child, and they'd always have those Western where the guy would come up and he'd say, okay, you draw, no, you draw, and they'd try to beat the draw, and whoever could do that would win. Well, my dad developed a drill out of this for hand quickness, and the drill is this. Daryl just stands like this, stands very straight like this. He's going to keep his hands to his side, and I'm going to put the ball right at the base of his back right here, okay? Right at the base, right here, right below his shoulder blades. Now, the object of the drill is for him to clap his hands in front, clap them in front, bring him back, and catch the ball, okay? But the thing is, he doesn't know when I'm going to drop the ball. You see, that's where the draw comes in. He's got to anticipate. He's got to have hand quickness. He's got to concentrate, and that's what this drill is all about. This is a fun drill. Watch Daryl. Now, whatever you do, Daryl, don't listen to me, okay? Whatever you do, don't listen to me. You just always get ready, have your hands ready, and get ready. Okay, that's good. See, I won that one, you see. So we'll just don't... You don't have to have them on your side. Don't listen to me, Daryl. Don't listen to me, Daryl. See, you can't. This is really fun. This is, believe me, this is great. You stand up straight, though. That's right. Don't listen to me, Daryl. Don't listen. That's good. Okay. He's doing real good. He's been in Boot Hill 4 times already. Okay, we're going right here again. We'll try it 2 more times, okay? See, he's really getting quick. See that? Oh, he's good. Almost. He almost got that one. We'll try it 1 more time for Daryl. Yes, sir, Daryl. You're doing a good job. Okay. This is the last time we're going to do it. Oh, he tried to do it. Now Daryl's going to try it on me. Daryl likes to try this on me. He really enjoys this. No, that's too low now. Just put it up here in the back there. That's right. Thank you, Daryl. It's been real fun with you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. So you see, that's the Pistol Pete draw. Now, if you're real quick, if you can anticipate, if you can concentrate, then you won't go into Boot Hill. Now we're going to get into the drills that are really going to be two parts. First, the coordinating part, and then the quickness part. Because you have to have coordination, and you have to have quickness. The first drill is the ricochet. I developed this in the 50s. That's when it was developed, in the 50s. And all of these drills, this is called homework basketball, and this is where you can do this all at home. You don't have to have a gym. You can do it at home. Now, the ricochet, here's how you do it. Stand with your feet a little bit more than shoulder width apart, okay? A little bit more than shoulder width apart. You want to take the ball. You want your legs to be straight. You want to lock your knees, okay? You don't want to bend. You want to lock your knees, just like this, okay? Because this is a dangerous drill, all right? It gets more dangerous as we do the other parts of it. But first, you want to take the ball. You want to throw the ball down at about a 45-degree angle, and you want to catch it behind you, just like that, okay? Throw it down, catch it. Get your ball now. Come on. Do it. Try it right there. That's right. Your mama, don't worry. She'll take care of you. Ready? Good. Let's do it again. See? This is just the coordination part of it. Can you do that? Don't bend over. Don't go like this. Don't do that. Stay straight up. Throw the ball. Let the ball work for you. Don't let your body work. Let the ball work. Okay? This is called the ricochet. It's coordination. You throw it through. You don't throw it through hard. You just throw it through where you can catch it. Keep bringing it around. Keep doing that. The ricochet. Hey, it's fun. Hey, have your family, when you're eating, you eat real quick. So you just eat real quick. Get up as your family's still eating. Get the ball and say, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, let me show you this little drill I got. It's called the ricochet. Just keep eating, would you? There you go. Look at that. See? You can do it anytime you want. Just do it. Do this drill. Oh, it's fun. The ricochet. Next drill in this part series, called the ricochet, is the ricochet rhythm. Now that you've already learned how to coordinate yourself by throwing the ball through, catching it, and bringing it around, now we want to throw it through, and we want to throw it back. Throw it through, throw it back. Throw it through, and back. Real slow. Catch it, throw it through. Catch it, throw it through. Real slow. This is the second part of the coordination. You have to do the coordinating part first before you do the quick part. Because if you don't do the coordinating part, you're not going to be able to do the quick part. So learn how to do this. Back and forth. As you get better, then start to speed it up a little bit. That's the rhythm ricochet. Do it to rhythm, okay? Now we just learned the rhythm, ricochet, and we learned the ricochet. That's the coordinating part of the drill. Now we're going to learn the quickness part, the reaction part, when you got to really get those hands back. Quick, quick. You got to get those hands back so that you can go ahead and get the ball when it's back there. This is where you got to be really quick with your hands. Let's spread your feet apart, just like this. Make sure that your legs are extended and locked, okay? Now I'm going to take the basketball, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it through kind of hard. I'm going to work up. I'm going to build the momentum up where I just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and at the end of the drill, I'm going to throw this ball as hard as I possibly can through my legs, which might be 50, 60 miles an hour, the speed of it. So you really got to have really quick hands, okay? Let's start doing it right now. You can really hurt yourself with this kind of drill, so be very careful. I don't want your mama writing me a letter, okay? Please, be careful when you do this drill. Just keep your legs extended, just like this, okay? This is fun. Isn't this fun? Get your ball, okay? Are you on the couch now? Are you laid out? Okay, just like me. All right, ready? Build it up. Watch the hands. Watch the hands. Can you see the hands move? That is quick. That's the bullet ricochet. Hey, it's fun. Do it. But don't do it until you learn the coordinating part. Now we went over the ricochet, the rhythm ricochet, the bullet ricochet. Now we're going to go into the inverted ricochet. Now this is a great coordination drill. And what you have to do is, this is also a drill as far as stretching out your thigh muscles. It's a good drill to stretch out your back area and everything else. And it's a very difficult drill to learn. But you can learn it if you just keep on trying it. Just keep doing it. Now, the object of this drill is, again, just like you're doing the regular ricochet. The only difference is you're going to come from back here, okay? And you're going to stretch way out, and you're going to throw that ball from back behind your shoulders through your legs and catch it here, okay? Now, it's a pretty difficult drill, okay? So I'm going to do about 5 or 6 for you. Now, watch it. Now, you notice I'm bending my knees out. I got to really bend and stretch to get that ball through, and it comes right back up to me. You see? Through. Keep going. It's a great drill to stretch those muscles in your leg, stretch your back. It's a good warm-up drill, but it's also a great coordination drill. Inverted ricochet. It'll stretch you out, and it's good for you. Now we're going to do the space catch. The space catch, the coordinating part of it, the quick part of it. First of all, let's do the coordinating part. Let's think of yourself right now. You're standing in some cement. You've been standing there all day, and it's just dry. Now, you can't move your feet, can you? Of course you can't. Okay, now that you're in that position, think of it that way, because I don't want you to move now. Get your ball in front of you. Now, I want to throw the ball up in the air, all right? I want to coordinate myself to throw the ball up in the air and catch it behind me. That's all it is. It's called the space catch. Throw it up, catch it. Just like that. Come back. Let's do it. Try it again. Go ahead. Go get the ball. I know it went under the couch. Go ahead. Go get it. Okay, ready? Do it again. Good. Just like that. One more. Keep going. See? That's right. See, this is the coordinating part of the drill right here. It looks simple. It looks real simple. But it's not. It's not, is it? You just can't seem to stand still, huh? But this is what you want to do. You want to be able to throw the ball up, coordinate yourself to throw the ball up and catch it behind you without moving. Okay? That is the space catch first part. The second part of this space catch is the rhythm space catch. Now we're going to stand the same way, okay? And we're going to go back and forth, without moving. Remember, you're in cement. You can't move. This is the coordinating part of this drill. You don't want to move. You want to get it to where you can just sit there and throw the ball back and forth, back and forth. Back, forth. It'll come back. You don't see it? Come right over your head. Back, forth. Just like this. Don't move. Learn to do it. Now, if you got to move in the beginning, fine. Go ahead and move, okay? I don't want to make this because you got to learn how to do it first. If you got to move to get the ball, move. But the object of the drill is to stay stationary. Also, don't bend your back. Whatever you do, don't bend your back. What will happen? Well, let's see what will happen. If I'm like this and I bend my back, it's going to go off my back, okay? So we don't want to bend our back, all right? Remember, up, back, up, back, up, back. The rhythm, space catch. Hey, you can do it. Just keep practicing. Now, we've learned how to do the coordinating part of it, okay? Now we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to take the ball and throw it up high, higher and higher, because then I want to run under it. I want to make sure that I can catch it. Now, the ball is going to be coming down a lot faster than when I throw it up. So you got to run under it, and you got to be careful, because if you don't, the ball hits you in the head, or you might break your nose looking up at there. So you got to really know what you're doing, okay? We're going to start kind of slow. You won't be able to see the ball going way up, but just by the time you'll see that it takes a long time for it to get back. Okay, you can move on this one now. You want to get under. See? Well, you see, sometimes I throw it so high. Well, this is the highest I've ever thrown it. Believe me, I didn't think I was going to throw it that high. Okay. Man, that's the highest I've ever thrown it. Hey, you can do the same thing. Believe me, you can do it. Now, we went over the coordinating part of that drill called the space catch rhythm. Then throw the ball way up. Try to run under it. Now, we're going to do something different. I'm going to throw the ball up in the air, okay? I'm going to let the ball bounce, and I'm going to run under it, okay? And then I'm going to throw it up as high as I can. I'm going to let it go behind me, let it bounce, and catch it. That's the coordinating part. We got to get this coordination down before you do the quickness part. So here we go. The ball's up. We're going to let it come in front. I'm going to run under and catch it. Looks very simple. Let's try it again. Throw it up. Let it bounce once. Go under it. Catch it. Okay? Now I'm going to throw it up. Let it bounce behind. Catch it. One more time. Let the ball bounce behind and catch it. Now that is the space catch with coordination. Now we did the space catch, the coordination part of it. We did the space rhythm catch, the coordination part of it. Now we're going to do the quickness part. Now where does the quickness come in? Okay, I'm going to throw the ball up in the air, and I'm going to use my hands. I'm going to clap my thighs. One time, catch the ball. Twice, catch the ball. 3 times. I'm going to go all the way to 10 for you. You have to be really quick when you do this because the ball is barreling down on your head. And you can run out of this. You can wherever the ball is, you can run under it, okay? You're not in that cement anymore. But make sure that when you throw it up like this, you throw it up, you clap, you catch it behind, just like this, okay? Let's go to 10. Ready? 1 time, clap. Catch it, get under it. Twice. Catch it, get under it. 3 times. That's 3. That's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, count now, count. That's 10. That's the space clap. You can do it. It's fun. The last part of the space catch is called the Big Dipper. This is the hardest part of this drill, and it's really the most fun, but you got to be very careful when you do this particular type of drill. Now, let's get right into it. I'm going to take the ball, and as you well know, on the space catch which we just did this. Now, we're going to take the ball. I'm going to throw the ball up in the air. I'm going to go between my legs and catch the ball from behind. Now, that is a real difficult drill. Now, you got to move. When you throw that basketball up, you got to see where it is, and then you got to move under it. See? Because you got to get enough space. You got to get enough space from your back down to your posterior to get out of the way. Or the ball will hit your back, it'll hit your behind, and you don't want that. You want just enough space where you can catch that ball. So, we're going to take this ball like this. We're going to throw it up, and we're going to catch it like that. Now, when you put your hands through, be very careful because that ball is going to come down and you don't want it to hit your thumb. So when you get your hands through, make sure they're flat. Make sure your hands are flat, just like this. You want your hands to go through like this, not like this, but flat, just like that. You want to have that pocket. So when the ball comes down, you're catching it just like that. You want to catch it just like that. Now, that is called the Big Dipper. It's a very difficult drill, but it's a great coordination drill because you got to move forward, you got to move backward, you got to know where you are, you got to know where the ball is. Hey, it's a fun drill to do. Put that into your repertoire of ball handling. The pretzel, a great coordinating drill, a great quickness drill. Now let's set it up. Right now, you're going to bend over, just like this. We're going to bend over. We're going to place the ball in our right hand. We're going to put it right between our legs, just like this. Our left hand goes behind our left leg. You grab the ball, okay? You got it? Right hand in front, left hand behind. Now what I want to do is I'm going to do a figure eight. That's why it's called the pretzel, because I'm going to let the ball go. My right hand's going to go behind. My left hand's going to come in front and catch the ball. See? It's going to be suspended in the air. Watch. Real easy. Now that's the coordinating part of the drill. Then you want to just take your time and add a little speed to it, a little more quickness to it. The pretzel. It's a great drill of coordination and quickness. And the more you do it, the more you practice it, the quicker you get with it. The walking pretzel. Now we just did the stationary pretzel for coordination and hand quickness. Now we're going to get into the walking pretzel. Now the only difference is that you're going to be walking and you're going to be doing a figure eight through your legs. Okay? So let's get right into it. Now let's watch. All right? I'm going to put my left foot forward, just like this. I'm going to take the ball through, catch it with my left hand. Like this. Take a right step, back through on the inside. Another step, back through, inside. Back through, keep going. Just like that. See? We're going to walk in. Okay, let's do it slow again. Back. The walking pretzel. You'll like it. The running pretzel. Now we did the stationary pretzel. We did the walking pretzel. Now we're going to do the running pretzel. Same way, same position. But what you're going to do is this. Remember that all these drills, they're to improve your quickness, improve your coordination, make you concentrate. You see, you have to concentrate. If you don't concentrate, then you won't play instinctively out on the court. You won't know what's going on. You won't be able to break down concepts that you get involved in. Like sometimes your coach says, "Why didn't you roll?" "I didn't know, coach. I didn't know." Well, you see, you're not thinking instinctively. You got to be able to break down these concepts. These drills will make you concentrate, make you think better, so that you'll be better on the court. Now, let's go over it again. Just going to go through like that, but we're going to run and do it, okay? Let's do a few. The running pretzel. Hey, it's tough. It's exhausting. It's a conditioning drill. You should do that up and down the court, back and forth. You'll see that your ball handling skills will improve tremendously by just doing that. Now we just got through doing the pretzel, okay? The pretzel, the stationary pretzel. Now we're going to do another type of pretzel drill. It's called the seesaw. Have you ever been out on the playground? You ever seen the seesaw go back and forth? I'm sure when you were a kid you rode that, and so did I. But with this seesaw, all you need is one person. That's you. That's all you need on this. So let me show you how to do it, okay? We're going to take the ball right here. We're going to place it behind us, just like this. Hands are behind. All right. Now, I'm going to throw the ball through, get my hands around, and catch it. All right? I'm going to throw it back through and catch it. See my knees? See the little seesaw movement I'm having? Up and back. 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 That's called the seesaw. That's the coordinating part of it. Now, let's do the quickness part. We're going to do this a little bit quicker now, okay? A little bit quicker, all right? Up and back. Let's just keep going now. seesaw. Use it. Balance. Coordination. Quickness. Hey, it's a great ball handling drill. Now we're going to go into a drill called the knee clap. The knee clap. My dad developed this drill. He showed me how to do it. It took me a while to be able to get quick enough hands to be able to do this. But it's a great drill for hand quickness. You must have quick hands, especially when you play basketball. Now, these drills that I'm doing, you can do them at any time, at any place. You don't have to go in the gym. You can do them at home. You can do them in a bathroom. You can do them anywhere you want. You can do these types of drills. And they're great drills as far as your coordination, your concentration, confidence. Look, I'm only here for one purpose. I'm here to teach you how to have a little extra edge over your opponent, over the person. You see, when I used to go different places, if I wasn't playing basketball, I would think that someone else was. Someone in L.A. or Boston or New York was playing basketball, so I said, hey, what am I doing? I got to get out there and play. If you want that scholarship, if you want to make your high school team, if you want to get to the top level of success in the NBA, there's only 250-odd players playing professional basketball in the world, and they're right here in the United States, okay? It's a specified situation. You just can't go out and play 14 sports and expect to play basketball in college and pro. You can't do it anymore. There's too many kids that are making it a special case. That's all they're doing. I'm here to encourage you, to give you that little extra edge. So let's get into it right now. You're going to take the ball. You're going to place it. You're going to bend over just like this. You're going to place the ball behind your knees just like this. Now you can just hold this with one finger or two fingers. You can hold with your hand, whatever you want to do. But the object is to let the ball drop. I'm just going to let the ball drop just like that. Let it drop. I'm going to get my hands away and let it drop. Now, let's pretend I have the ball here. I'm going to let the ball go. I'm going to clap my hands in front. I've got to get that ball before it hits the ground. You got to have, this is the quickest drill that you're going to have for your hands. It's called the knee clap. Now, so we're going to go back here again. We're going to drop the ball, clap the hands in front, and catch it. Now, this is what's going to happen to most of you. You're going to take this, you're going to let go of it, watch, and you're going to catch it on the first bounce. That's good. Hey, that's good. Catch it on the first bounce. Good. Like that, okay? But then keep doing it. The more you do it, the more repetitious you are, you're going to get quicker and quicker. Now, let's go over it. This is how it's supposed to be done. The knee clap. This drill here will give you that extra edge. Oh, what am I doing here with this broom? Hey, well, when you woke up on a Saturday morning, did you ever hear your dad say, hey, John, Bill, Dave, come on down to the garage. I want you to sweep it out. Well, my dad did that to me when I was just your age, okay? And I tell you what, I didn't want to go down there, but I did. And I'd get down there, and he'd have me sweep out the garage. They'd take the furniture out that they stored in there, and I'd sweep it all out. And then sweep all the lawnmower grass coverings that was on there all out of the garage and stuff. But I also had fun with it. Why? Because, see, at that particular point in my life, I was 10 years old, and I was trying to learn how to spin the basketball. And I couldn't do it. I was so frustrated. I couldn't take the ball and just get it up on my finger and keep it there. It kept falling off. So my dad came to me one day, and he says, Pete, when you threw that broom, I want you to start balancing it on your finger. I said, why is that? He said, just do as I say. Just balance that broom on your finger. So I learned to try to balance this broom. And I put it on my index finger, just like this. I'd let go, and I'd just start balancing it, see? I want to get it soft. I want it to stay right there. Now, when I first started doing it, I was all over the place, you see? But you should be really balanced when you do this, so you really don't have to do that. And that's, you're saying, well, how did that help you spin? Well, that's what this section's about. Spinning the basketball. So here we are. We're going to take the ball here. You can also learn to do it by taking your finger like this and learn how to balance that ball on your finger, see? Learn how to balance that ball on your finger, just like that, you see? Once you can learn how to balance it, then you can take it and you spin it. Now, I don't care whether you spin it this way or this way. If you're left-handed, you're going to spin it that way. If you're right-handed, you're going to spin it this way. Some people spin it right-handed that way. I don't care. Whatever spin it is, but you got to stay after it. Just keep going like this. Just keep putting it on. Just keep putting it on. And finally, after a while, it depends on how long you do it, the ball's going to stay on. See? It's going to stay on. Now, once it's on, you have what's called fanning. Now, this is tough because most kids will knock it off. When you fan the basketball, you want to barely touch the ball. You hear the sound. Listen. But I'm barely touching that basketball. You see? Barely touching it. All right. Now, once it's on, once you got it spinning, well, you can change fingers. See? You can do a little spider change. A little spider change just like that. Keep that ball spinning and just go back and forth like that. See? On those fingers. And you might want to take it like this, and you might want to change fingers like that. See? Back and forth like this. Just like that. See? Back and forth. You might want to take it and maybe put it on this knuckle, and then back down this knuckle, back on the finger. Like that. Now that is how you can learn to spin the basketball. It's a whole lot of fun. And it'll really build your confidence. That's what you need. You need encouragement, and you need confidence when you learn to spin the basketball. Hey, it sure has been fun being here with you today to do this ball handling video. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you had fun too. It was a lot of work, and I understand that. But I want to tell you something. There's 3 things that I want to leave you with, possibly 4. The first one is dedication. Dedication to ball handling. You have to be dedicated. What comes out of dedication? Hard work. You have to practice and practice and practice. That's how you will improve yourself. That's how you get better. The second D is desire. You must have desire from within to want to break through that pain barrier. When you're frustrated, when you say, no, I don't want to play anymore, that's when you play. When you say, I don't want to go another step, that's when you do another step. When you say, I don't want to do that pretzel anymore, that's when you do it 10 times more. You break through that frustration, that pain level. And the third thing, of course, you have dedication and desire, discipline. All of it, it takes discipline. Discipline, maintain discipline. Get up in the morning and go over these drills. The last thing I want to tell you is this. Of course, I want to thank the Tiger Tykes who came here today because, hey, boy, it took me back some memories when I was 4 years old all the way to I was 12 years old. The Tiger Tykes, it's amazing what they can do with a basketball. But that's what the 3 Ds are all about. What you saw them do was dedication and discipline and desire. And the last thing, it took commitment. You see, every one of those kids, and myself, it took commitment to ball handling, to learn how to handle the ball like that. And what does that build in you? We've already been over it. It builds confidence. I'm here to encourage you. I want you to know that you can become the best ball handler that you want to be. And you can maybe have a dream one day to get a scholarship in college and maybe even play on the pro level. It was a dream for me, but I realized it, and maybe you can realize it too. So don't forget commitment and do your homework.
Now you can learn even more of the secrets that made Pistol Pete Maravich into a basketball legend. Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball. Shooting. Dribbling. Passing. And ball handling. They all add up to making your game great.
in a gym just like this one in Clemson, South Carolina, I would dribble in a circle for 3 to 4 to 5 minutes every day to increase my basketball awareness as a dribbler. I wanted to go through all the different dribbles. I wanted to imagine what I could do with a basketball dribbling-wise in a small circle like this one. I'd go behind my back, between my legs in front, sideways, back and forth, whatever I could, because I know that the hand is on different parts of the ball when you dribble it. And that's what this video is about today. It's about making you a more effective dribbler. Now, you can get your basketball, and we can come out here today, and we can start doing our homework together. But not only are we going to learn the basic fundamentals of dribbling, the mechanics of dribbling, but you're going to learn how to do creative fundamentals of dribbling. That's going to make you a much more effective basketball dribbler, especially if you're a playmaker. So let's do our homework. The mechanics of dribbling a basketball. As you can see right now, I have what's called a suction cup on the basketball. You might be thinking, what does this suction cup have to do with dribbling a basketball? Well, the first thing I want to talk about is hand placement on a basketball. And to illustrate it, I wanted to use this suction cup because that is the way the hand is supposed to be placed over the ball. You see, the only thing that should be on the basketball is just like when you shot the basketball. You shot it with your finger pad, your fingertips, the thumb to support the basketball. It's the same way with dribbling. You want to hover your hand over the basketball in this area like this, so it comes up and acts as a suction cup. So when it comes back up off the dribble, it comes up in this area where you can really control it. You can't control the basketball with your palm. If I was to dribble with my palm area, I'm going to lose it. So I want that suction cup. I want to dribble the basketball just like this, right-handed or left-handed, making the ball go completely back up into the hand placement. Let's talk about the wrist flex, the wrist snap. What does the wrist have to do with dribbling a basketball? I want to make sure, just like when I shoot the basketball, I'm going to have that good snap of my wrist like this, because that's going to give me backspin on the ball. It's going to give me better control of the basketball, especially when I'm dribbling it. So I want that wrist snap. I want that snap of the wrist when I'm dribbling the basketball. Now, I'm going to do this in kind of slow motion for you so you can understand and you can see this wrist snap. Now, when I snap my wrist, you can see there's a slight backspin on the ball. The reason there's a slight backspin on the ball is because I'm stationary. Now, if I was moving, you wouldn't see that backspin. But whether it's right hand or whether it's left hand, you want to make sure that you have a free wrist. You don't want to have a frozen wrist. You don't want this kind of a wrist when you're dribbling a basketball. But you want it free. You want it to be able to snap. So this is called the wrist snap of dribbling, the wrist flex. We just talked about hand placement on the basketball. So now let's move to the body and see what the correct position is that we should be in when we dribble a basketball. There is a correct way that you should stand when you're dribbling a basketball. Now I'm going to start with the feet and come upwards. Now I'm going to be at about a 45-degree angle with the feet in this position like this. My knees are going to be slightly bent like this. The upper torso of me, my back and so forth, is going to be straight. I don't want to hunch over like this. I want to be straight. My head and eyes should be completely up like this. My head should be up. My shoulders should be back. I should be surveying the court. I should be looking into the front court, seeing the men in their position so that if I'm a playmaker, I can see what's going on in the front court. The ball should be bounced behind the right back foot. So it should be bounced in this position like this. My left arm should be out here for protection. I should use the posterior part of my body also for protection. Against whom? Against the defense. I want to make sure that the back part of me, I'm at a side angle, a 45-degree angle. I don't want to place the ball out in front of me like this because then someone can come and steal it from me. I want to turn sideways like this, 45 degrees, feet pointing outward like this, knees bent, shoulders back, torso up, head and eyes up, the ball back here, and I'm going to start dribbling in this fashion. Left arm out for protection. Now that is the correct way to dribble a basketball. Let's talk now about the square V dribble. Now the square V dribble is the basic technique in developing your dribbling skills. It's the key to more advanced dribbles that you will learn later on in this tape. The behind the back dribble, between the legs, you'll be able to learn how to dribble from the stationary position called the square V. Now the square V got its name, basically, we're going to go alternating hands in front, and you're going to form a V action in front. You're going to form a V action from the side, right hand and left hand, and you're going to form a V action from behind. You're also going to form a V action in between. So let's get right into it. You can grab your basketball and you can do this with me because I'm going to do it very slowly at the beginning. We're going to alternate hands going back and forth, just like this. You can see the V. You can see the V that's being made with the basketball. Now I want to rock back and forth with my body because I want to have rhythm when I'm dribbling the basketball. So I want to go back and forth, just like this. Now let's go side. Left foot in front, right foot back. We're going to rock back and forth. We want that arm to be completely extended past the front foot. We also want the arm to go completely back extended from the back. So we're going to go back and forth like this, real slow, like this. Just getting the ball. And you notice the arm. The arm is twisting. You can see the position of the hand. It's in front, pushing it back, and then it turns around, and it goes from behind. So we're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let's go to the left. Right foot in front, left foot back. Make the V again. Back and forth, start off slow. Grab your basketball. Don't worry about it if you lose your basketball. Just get it back, start over again. Now let's go to the back. We're going to go from back to back now. I'm going to do this real slow. Real slow, see? You want to bend your knees. You want to float your back like this. You don't want to stand up too straight because you'll hit the back of your foot. So I want to make sure. Now, this is where the hands become the extension of the ball. I'm not looking at the basketball at this position, but I can feel it. I know where my hands are, and I'm making sure that that cup action is there, that I can get it. So you want to just go back and forth in the same area, making sure that you bounce the ball down and catch it. Now let's go sideways, through the legs. Same position, left foot in front, right foot back. We're going to go back and forth, between the legs. Like this, again, make sure that that knee is bent. See that knee bending? Make sure that you have that ball in the cup of the hand. Make sure that you're going through. Back and forth, just like this. Now let's go to the right leg forward. We're going to do the same thing. Back and forth, same way. It's a great drill as far as getting your hands in shape. It's a great dribbling drill because this is where you're going to go between your legs. Everybody goes between their legs today, so this is how you learn how to go between your legs. Now let's go to the front. Now we went from the back, we went to the front, we went sideways, we went front to back. Now we're going to take one hand and we're going to do an inverted dribble, which is going to come over here. The hand's going to go back this way. So my hand is in front here, going to come across. I'm going to twist my arm this way and I'm going to throw it back. So we're over there and back. Here and back. Here and back. You notice I have the same rhythm. See, that's called coordination. It's harmony. Have the same harmony. See, just being able to do this right here, see? This is a coordinating effort of dribbling a basketball. Back and forth, see? Just back and forth, just like this. You should do this day in and day out because you want to master this part of the dribble, the square V dribble, see? Back and forth. Now we'll go for the left hand now, see? Real slow. Put it over to your left hand. That's it. Go real slow. 1 and 2 and 3. And we'll just keep doing this. You don't have to go that fast. You may even be able to go faster. But learn how to do it first. Be consistent. This is the way I start out. You have to learn the fundamentals before you can do something more advanced. So go back and forth like this with the left hand. Back and forth. Square V dribble. This is a drill that you must master. If you do that in a stationary position, you will have incorporated the basic fundamentals of dribbling. And you do it repetitiously every day. And if you do it every day and do this religiously every day, just time and time again, you'll find yourself a much better dribbler, and then we will go on to more creative forms of dribbling. Let's talk about walking with the basketball now. There's fundamentals involved in walking, and you must know that. First of all, let's incorporate what we've already learned. Of course, the hand placement on the ball. Don't forget to let that act as a suction cup on the ball. Make sure that the thumb is your support area on the basketball. Make sure that you have good wrist snap. Make sure that as you're walking, the ball is thrown out in front of you. Not very much when you're walking, but out in front of you. And you're still going to have a slight backspin when the ball is out in front of you. So let's get right into walking with the basketball. As you can see right now, the ball is out in front of me. You can notice my wrist right here. You can notice the snap. You can see the slight backspin on the basketball. Now you might say, hey, this is kind of boring to me, but this wasn't boring when I was your age. When I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 years old, this wasn't boring. This is all I ever did. First of all, you have to learn the fundamentals of how to dribble a basketball. This is one of the first fundamentals you learn when you learn how to walk. You know, when you were born, you just didn't wake up and start running hurdles, did you? I don't think you did. So that's walking with the basketball. Now, you know, when I was a young kid in Clemson, every summer, because I had that whole day to spend playing basketball, I would get up in the morning, eat my breakfast, and just go out the door dribbling my basketball. I would dribble some 2 to 2.5 miles into town. Sometimes a guy would come by, hey, Pete, you want us to give you a ride in? I say, no, that's okay. I'm going to dribble on in. Because I wanted the ball to become an extension of my hand. Through repetitive movement of dribbling, that's how I became a much better dribbler. That's how I could go out on a basketball court and go around different people. So don't forget, you have to learn the fundamentals first. That's the walking portion of it. Running with a basketball. Now, we just talked about walking. There's a little bit difference when you start to run with the basketball. Number one, you've got to put the ball way out in front of you, a lot more. In walking, I was dribbling maybe 7 or 8 times in the area that I'm dribbling in. When I'm running, I'm only dribbling maybe 4 times. That's because I'm pushing the ball way out in front to keep my body up with it. And that's what happens. You want to still have the same wrist snap. You want to make sure that you have that cup over the ball. Make sure your head and eyes are forward, and make sure you keep the ball out in front of you. If you keep it out in front of you here, you can keep your head and eyes up. If the ball's back here, you're going to lose it. Because you can't run and dribble the ball back here. It's got to be out in front of you at all times. So let's go over that one more time. Watch where the ball is. Watch the hand on the ball. Watch the movement. Watch how the head and eyes are up. That's dribbling the ball while running. Remember, keep the ball out in front as far as you need it to be. Remember to cup those hands. Remember to have good wrist flexion. Remember to keep your head and eyes up. That's how you run with the basketball and dribble. Now we're going to go into the different types of dribbles. Now we've learned how to stationary dribble, we've learned how to walk and dribble, we've learned how to run and dribble. Now we're going to go into the different types of dribbles, like the behind the back, the change of direction. This one, which you just saw, is called the stop and pop dribble. Now what would you use this for? Well, a lot of times if you're coming down on a fast break situation, someone might be coming up behind you. And everybody on the court says, "Watch out, he's coming up behind you," and always the guy normally steals the ball. But if you're aware of everybody on the court, and you know this particular dribble, this stop and pop dribble, then as you're coming down full speed, then you just take that ball and you just stop your body right there in the court and go down low with your body and take that basketball, and you're going from a very high dribble down to a very low dribble down in this fence, and that guy's going to go on by. That's called the stop and pop dribble. Come up hard, stop real quickly, then pop the ball on the floor as low as you can. That'll make that defensive man fly forward. Keep your head and eyes up, see the court. The stop and pop dribble. Learn it. Change of direction dribble. That's what we're going to do right now. As you can see, I was going in one direction, and then I changed over with the ball and with my body into another direction. That's why it's called change of direction dribble. Now when you do the change of direction dribble, remember, you can do it a couple of different ways. One, you can use your entire arm when you change direction. Now the more deceptive way to do it is with your wrist. Remember, it's a hard dribble. Also, think of this. You're always going to have a defender on you when you do that change of direction dribble. So you're taking the ball out in front of you, and you've got to come across him. And that's where you have an air, a degree right there, where you can make an error, and he can steal that basketball. So that's why we're going to go into a couple of other dribbles that are change of direction dribbles also, but they're done a different way. So that's change direction dribble. The double clutch dribble. You notice that? It's a pop twice on the floor. You say, how can I use that? What can I do with that? That's another way to change direction. You see, a lot of times when you're coming down the court and you're changing direction, what happens? The defensive man doesn't go for the fake. He puts his hand in there and he gets the ball. Well, if you learn how to do this double clutch, where you take the ball in slow motion as the ball comes down like this, you're going to pop it twice. It's just like that. What happens? Well, when that guy comes in to steal the ball is only about 1/8 of an inch off the ground. He's not going to be able to get it. You see, you don't just have to do this on a change of direction. You can do it standing still right here. You might be setting your offense up. A defender comes in, he sees the ball right here. I'm going to get the ball. As soon as he reaches in, you go right around him. You change direction. So let's change direction using the double clutch. Let me tell you this. This is a fact. I used to use this dribble all the time when I played in college and in pro ball. Very few times. The only time I ever got it stolen was when I made the mistake. The defender never got that basketball. But it's a deceptive dribble. You plan it out there for the person. You lure it out there like some bait. And as soon as he hooks onto that bait, that's when you go right around him. It's called a double clutch, because as you're going around him into the lane, he's going to be sitting there like this with his thumb saying, hey, can I get a ride? I got to catch my man up there. Because you're going to be dunking it, laying it in, jamming from behind, whatever you want to do, that's what you're going to do. You got me? Learn it. Remember that move right there? We did at the first of the video, didn't we? That was called the what? The correct stance for a dribble. The stationary stance. Now we're going to go into another dribble. It's called the slide protection dribble. Now where does that come in? Well, slide protection. Slide protection. We're going to take the stationary stance that we just had, and we're going to move down the court in a sliding manner. We're going to protect the ball not only with our hand, with our arm out here, with the ball behind us, we're going to protect the ball with our posterior. And we're going to keep our head and eyes up so we can look down the court to make sure everybody's in there. Now, there's a critical distance. There's a critical distance where that defensive player is. You've got to always understand there's a critical distance where that man's arm can reach you. You don't want that player's arm to be able to touch you. If he can touch you, okay, that's when you protect the ball even more. So you got to always be aware of where they are. Always be aware of the defender. Let's do the slide protection dribble. That's the slide protection dribble. You slide, you protect the ball, your head and eyes are up. Learn it. Keep doing it. Work on it. It's repetitive. Every one of these drills is repetitive. You can't become a better dribbler unless you bare bones it out here on the court. Fundamentally, just keep doing it over and over. The slide protection dribble. Next dribble, the spin dribble, the whirl dribble, the twirl dribble, the reverse dribble, whatever name you want to put on it. The best one-on-one player that I ever played against and played with, not in the pros, but played with outside of the pro league, was a guy by the name of Earl the Pearl Monroe. Played with the New York Knickerbockers. He was the best spinning reverse dribbler I've ever seen. In fact, he was so good at it that he would just, it was ridiculous even to try to guard him. Because that was his favorite move, and he would just keep spinning and spinning and spinning and drive you nuts. And he'd spin right in here, see, and he'd spin right here, and in his last spin, he would do a fake like this, and everybody would go up in the air, and then he shot with his elbow out, and as you were coming down, his elbow was going up, he'd get you about 6 stitches right here to the chin and get the three-point play. But he was the best spinner. So let's learn the spin dribble right now, okay? Now, how do I want to spin? Well, I'm going to the left right here. The one thing you want to remember is this. You don't want to spin with the ball in this position. Because if you spin with the ball in this position, the guy's going to take it from you and he's going to go and lay it in. So be sure that when you spin, you bring that ball across when you spin. See, all one movement. Watch. Watch the foot. It's going to spin. Watch the ball. It's going to also spin. Watch. Remember, when you make that spin, don't spin standing straight up. You can't spin standing straight up. Number one, you got too much of a margin of error in between because the ball is going to be way up here when you spin, see? You don't want to spin like this, see? That's not going to get it done. Always do a spin in a lower position. From this position right in here, you see the knees are bent right here? I'm just going to spin right on the ball of my foot right there, see? Spin right around, see? I'm going to spin right around, see? See? Spin, see? Spin right around, see? Actually, what I'm doing right here is called a reverse pivot. You see, I'm pivoting off my left foot, I'm reversing it around. See, that's all a spin and twirl movement is. See, so I come in here like this. See, I'm going to come in, I'm going to spin around, make sure that ball's there. That's the twirl, the whirl, the spin, the reverse dribble. The behind the back dribble. Now, if you remember the square V that we got into in the beginning, that was the basis for every dribble that we're going to learn. Now the behind the back dribble comes basically from this simple square V drill of just dribbling behind your back, learning how to do this, not looking at the ball, but learning how to do this, because there is a span of time where you will not be able to see the ball at all when you go behind your back. So how do you use this in a situation on the court? Well, the behind the back dribble is a good dribble. I used to use the behind the back dribble almost all the time to change direction. And the reason I used it to change direction was because when you're coming at a defender, and you're coming at a defender like this, and then you just come over like this, well, what happens? Well, the ball is being placed right in front of him, and he's got an opportunity to steal the ball. The defender was right here. I would show him the ball here, but then I would just go right behind my back. I was changing direction. The ball came right up to my left hand. So let's go. How can I learn to do this behind the back dribble? Okay, first of all, when you follow through on the behind the back dribble, you really want to almost hit yourself in the posterior. Let's do it at real slow, and let's do it at different angles. Let's go at like a 45-degree angle. But what you want to literally end up with is you want to be able to dribble the ball behind your back, almost going in a straight line. Once you learn how to do that portion of it, you'll be ready to do that behind the back dribble in the game. But it takes a lot of practice, a tremendous amount of practice of dribbling behind your back. And you only use it in situations where you really need it. When I'd come down on a fast break sometimes, the only dribble I could use was behind the back dribble. If I did not use that dribble, it would have been stolen. Because I found myself in a surprising situation, and the only thing I could do was go behind my back real quick, like that, you see? And that'll bring you out of trouble. It's a good change of direction dribble. So take this, behind the back dribble, and do it. The between the legs dribble. And it all came from the square V dribble that you learned at the beginning of this video. That's what you got to learn first. You've got to learn to dribble between your legs in a low position because you got less margin of error. The higher your dribble is, the more margin of error there is. So let's learn to do it. There are several ways you can do it. I can come this way, just like this, and I can go from behind here, through my legs this way, and change direction that way. Probably the best player in the NBA that really uses the between the legs dribble better than anyone is Isaiah Thomas. Now he likes to use it coming on a fast break situation. He also likes to use it on a delayed fast break situation. He likes to use it any time. And what he does is he likes to come right up on the man. He likes to come right up on the man like this. And then he'll go between his legs here, back this way, maybe behind his back that way, and change direction. See, that's all from being able to handle the ball. It's not how quick you are. It's not how fast you are. It doesn't matter whether you have slow feet. It doesn't matter whether you have slow hands or whatever. If you commit and practice this kind of dribble, you'll be able to go by people. So you come down, see, and you go back through here. You can come back through this way. You can change direction this way, back and forth this way, back over this way, back this way, back through, back. Any kind of dribble you want. See, behind the back there, we got this one here, back through here, back through, back this way, back through, back this way, back through. Between the legs dribble. Exceptional dribble to learn. It'll keep you out of a lot of trouble. Get your ball, start in a square V, and then master it. Now let's look at a dribbling drill that you can do at your house. It incorporates 4 different things. Of course, we have the stationary dribble, the correct way to dribble, which is like this. And then when I say change over, when I say change, then of course you go over like this, and you're going to change your left hand. If I say change again, you're going to go to your right hand, okay? Change. Change. Now double time is a coordinating move. It's a harmony move. It's being able to do something with the basketball and something else with the body. 2 different things, having your brain understand what that means, comprehend it, see? Now, I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to dribble it very, very slow. But my feet are going to be moving very, very fast. Now, at the beginning, they're going to be moving kind of slow, and it's going to pick up and pick up and pick up to just a machine gun step. A machine gun step, but the ball is going to be moving very slow. It's called double time, so watch it, okay? See, the ball is moving real slow. Feet are starting to get a little bit faster, but the ball is still moving the same. Now real fast, see? Ball real slow. Real fast. Keep up. Come on. Keep going. That's right. Now slow up. Now that's double time. Then you say, that's easy. That's not hard to do. Well, try it. Go ahead and try it right now. Get that machine gun approach with your feet. That's what you need in basketball dribbling. You need coordination. Now we're going to put in what's called circle right and circle left. I'm going to say circle right. So I'm in this circle right here. So when I say circle right, okay, when I say circle right, I'm going to circle to the right, see? I'm going to circle to the right. Circle to, so I say circle left, I'm going to say circle left, see? I'm going to control the ball. Circle right, back around, see? Circle left. Circle left. Circle right. Next portion of this drill is called speed, and then stop and pop. Then speed, then stop and pop. So, if I'm going this way, I say speed, and I want you to go fast, fast, stop and pop. Speed. Turn back around. Ready? Speed. Stop and pop. Down low, down low. Speed. Stop. Speed. Stop. Double time, see? Circle right. Circle left. Change. 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 Now let me tell you something. You see this sweat? That's what happens when you're out here working. That's what will happen to you. You'll start sweating. That's good. And you mothers that are sitting there, don't worry if your son gets a little sweat on his eyebrow. That's good for him. But when you do this drill, you're going to be out of breath. It's strenuous. But you got to break through that barrier. It's called discipline. You learn these fundamental drills, what I've been teaching you. Learn them, keep doing them repetitiously every day. And I'll tell you something else. You'll get in much better shape. Creative fundamentals. This is the part of the video that you're really going to enjoy. Now we went over the basic fundamentals of how to dribble a basketball. Now we're going to go over the creative fundamentals. When I was a young kid, my dad wanted to break the monotony of me running up and down the court, doing all these speed drills and all these different drills that really became quite boring to me. And I wanted something that would develop my quickness, develop my concentration, make me more determined to want to come out the next day to play. So he developed all these creative fundamentals to make me quicker, to make me faster, to build my confidence, to support me. And it really encouraged me because each day I couldn't wait to get to the gymnasium to go over these different types of drills. So today we're going to go into the creative fundamentals of dribbling a basketball. Punching the bag, another creative fundamental that you're going to learn right now. I used to do this drill all the time, every day. And what it really develops is, number one is rhythm, number two is coordination, number three is hand quickness. Most of these drills will afford you hand quickness because you're going to have the coordination part of the drill followed up by the quickness part of the drill. Okay? So, we're going to start doing this punching the bag. This is the name that my father gave to this back in 1956, was the fact that you would start the ball up here high, alternating hands, just like this. It's a real simple movement, see? But the object of this drill is to get faster and faster with the hands and move the ball downward, keeping the same rhythm all the way through, which means that the ball is going to get faster and faster and faster. The hands are going to move quicker and quicker and quicker until the ball is about 1/8 of an inch off the floor, and your hand should be moving very, very quickly. Remember this, execute. See, that's the whole problem. A lot of kids in my camp, for example, they'll take this drill and they'll go like this. They'll go. See, that's not execution, okay? Learn to do it first. Learn softly how to just do this, get a little faster, go all the way down like that, and do that, see? And just keep doing that, see? And then what you want to do is, this is going to resemble, in fact, you can basically hear this, close your eyes, and it'll sound like a train leaving a station. Very slow start. So listen up and watch. Punching the bag drill. Learn it. The circle dribble. Another creative fundamental to help strengthen, develop make you more coordinated, make your hands that much more quicker on the basketball as you dribble it. Now, when I was a young kid, I would always just sit down, sometimes in front of the TV set. But mostly I would just sit down and I would just dribble circles around myself. Because in this particular little creative fundamental drill here, you really lose sight of the ball back here. And then when you get your hands back in this area, that's where the ball becomes dead in most cases. In other words, it just goes down on the floor like this and you got to start it back up. So what you want to do is you want to learn how to reverse your hand in the back like this. And just like you're standing up, you want to just make that little behind the back dribble to make it come right from your knee. So let's just go over this right now. We're going to real slow. We'll go back, we lose it, we bring it back this way, and we come back this way with it. Now if you notice that when the ball is coming in this direction here, you see my hand is not on top of the ball, my hand's on the side of the ball. I'm dribbling the ball from the side. Why? Because I want the momentum to go this way. Okay? When it's this way, I'm dribbling the ball back. You see, so you have different hand placements on the ball. And it's very low. It's very good for strengthening your fingertips. It's very good for coordinating yourself to be able to dribble the ball in all different situations and areas. So we get the ball here, we go around, and then we come back this way. The ball is still in the same position, and my hands are just changing over. And it's always moving. There's no stopping with the ball. That's the circle dribble. Sit down, do it, and you become a much better dribbler. One-legged figure eight, another creative fundamental drill that you can do to learn to become a more effective dribbler, a better dribbler. All these dribbles right here are very low to the ground, and that is, again, to develop your fingertips, to make sure that your hand placement's on the ball correctly, and to give you rhythm as you dribble the ball. It's the one-legged figure eight. You're down on one knee. I'm on my right knee right now. Your left knee is out like this. And what we're going to do is do a figure eight fashion around the body, okay? I'm going to start out here to the right side. I'm going to come back all the way around, back through the center, back around this way, and as you can see, there's a figure eight being formed. A figure eight being formed. Now a lot of mistakes are made back here because people lose the ball. And it may look simple, but it'll take some work on your part to be able to do it. You got to lean back, get that ball through. Now if you do it on one leg, you got to do it on the other. So you come back down on your left knee now, your right knee's up here. Make sure that you're coordinated, you have good balance when you do this. Also, this is, again, a very taxing drill, and it's a very good stretching drill. It's a good drill because you're leaning back, you're stretching your hamstring back here, you're stretching your lower back, you're stretching the frontal part of your thigh when you do this type of drill. So again, you come back with the left hand, back through, pick it up with the right hand, come on through. This is good because you got your different hand placements on the ball, and you got to push that ball up between those legs. Once it gets through here, you got to bring it over here, you got to bring it through there, and then back through. A one-legged figure eight, another good creative dribbling drill. Different strokes, a good dribbling drill. Now the reason that my dad developed these different drills that were low to the ground was to develop fingertips, was to develop the wrist, was to get good wrist snap. You have to have rhythm when you dribble the basketball. And this is called different strokes. That's called a hammer. That's called a dead ball. You gotta have fun when you do this, fellas, girls. That's called just the fingertips. See? Top of the fingertips. That's called individual fingers. First the index finger, the middle finger, third finger, little finger. Here's the thumb. You got the back of the hand. That's called different strokes. It's really a good drill for you to learn. It's a good dribbling drill. It will give you a great deal of confidence so that when you go back out in the court, you'll be able to do something somebody else can't do. Now, some people call this the Hollywood dribble. It's the laid-back dribble. Now, sometimes you might be at home and you've gone through all these different types of drills, and hey, you're tired. You say, I've had it. I just nothing else I can do. Yeah, you can. You can we just went over the circle dribble and all these other types of dribbles. Why don't you lay down now? Just lay down, and you can still work on dribbling. How do you do it? Well, we call this a laid-back dribble. It's several different things that you can do from this position. Just laying down, you relax. But the one thing you want to be concerned with is that you have rhythm and that you're constantly strengthening your fingertips. So I'm going to lay back like this. We can start over here. You notice my elbow is on the floor. The only thing dribbling the basketball at this point right now is my fingers. Just my fingers. You see the rhythm on that? That's really good rhythm. You might want to start off real slow. See, like this. Just pat it with the fingers. Pat it, pat it, pat it. Then you, little strengthener, a little stronger like this. Now you can take it from there, and you can go over here to the right side, okay? Same thing, elbow down, see? Elbows down. You may only want to do this maybe for a minute. And this is really going to tax your arm and your wrist and your fingers. Of course, your body and your feet aren't going to be in this, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, from this position here, there's a lot of things we can do. We can take the ball back behind us like this. It's a very awkward position in having your hands to be able to dribble like this. It really wears on your arms and your hands. It really takes a lot of coordination to do this. But you can do it. Now let's go all the way around and bring the ball over here. Okay? Let's just go back and forth now. Let it go way over. You know where it's coming. Have the coordination to pick it back up. Let it roll a couple times. Pick it back up. Bring the ball around here. There's a lot of things you can do around this area. As you're sitting down, you can do a little back. You know, when we did the square V dribble, we're going behind our back. We can do the same thing here. Whatever you can do to make yourself a better dribbler, do it. Don't ever shy away from doing different dribbles. If your coach says, oh, these drills won't do any good for you, don't listen to him. Because let me tell you something, it's through these drills, these homework basketball drills, that I happen to get in the NBA. That's the majority reason why I got to the NBA. And I'm telling you, these drills, if you work on them, you practice them, you can become a good, effective basketball dribbler and ball handler. The dribbling pretzel. The dribbling pretzel. Now, these drills might look very simple to you, but they're not. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of concentration, and you must be out here repetitively just doing this time and time again to be able to do this. I'm going to show you how to do this drill. Now, I picked out a certain amount of drills out of our homework basketball scheme to give to you today in dribbling. These are the most important drills that I think can make you a better dribbler. There's many more, but we can only get so many in. And so I wanted to pick the most important ones that I know really help me, and I know they will help you. So this is the dribbling pretzel. Now what we're going to do is, how you learn this drill is basically, if you remember the square V that we were doing. Remember we were standing in a square V and we were going between our legs just like this? You've seen that before? This is how you learn it from a stationary position. Now from a walking position, what I want to do is I want to lean over. I want to take the ball with this hand. I want to, from the back side, not the front side, the back side. You can do it either way, but let's start from the back side. Bring the ball through and catch it. See? Take a step, catch it. See? Take a step, catch it. Now, take another step, throw it through, catch it. Take a step, catch it. Step, catch it. Step, catch it. Let's turn around. Same way, catch it. Ready? Catch it. Two hands. Now I want to leave the two hands. I just want to alternate hands, but I want to keep the dribble very low. Why? Because I have more control. The lower you dribble the ball, the more control you're going to have on it. Why? Because you got less margin of error, less space. If I'm dribbling the ball up here, See? I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. If I dribble the ball down here, see, in this area right here, I'm not going to make as many mistakes. That's why. You understand? Okay, now, let's go. Ready? Through, just like this. That's it. Just keep going low. Keep going low. Low. Keep it low. You have more control. You have less margin of error. Less margin of error. Now, I want to eventually come all the way up to where I can just dribble straight up. You can go backwards with it, see? Backwards. See? Walk backwards. Forward. Okay, now, you can also skip. Learn to skip. Why I put in skipping? So I'm trying to make you more coordinated, okay? The more coordinated you are, the better movement you're going to have on the court. You have more agility on the court. You're going to be able to do things you normally couldn't do. So let's skip and do it, okay? We're going to skip. The dribbling pretzel. Do it with some salt. Now, we've been going over a lot of dribbling drills today. Now, this is one of my sons, Jason. Now, he hadn't been playing basketball very long, about a year and a half. I really just encouraged him to play. But he can do a couple of different dribbles with the basketball, and he really only does it about 20 to 30 times, 40 times a day. He's only spending 3 or 4 minutes a day, but just spending that small amount of time, he's able to do certain things with the basketball that I think is good. It can show you that whether you're 7, 8, 9, 10, 6, 12, 13, that you have a shot to become a better dribbler if you have the commitment. So, Jason, you go ahead and start that figure 8 dribble right now. Go ahead. Just take your time. And that's it. That's good. Keep going. You see, he's relaxed when he's doing it. Now, he hadn't been doing it that long. And that's excellent. That's excellent dribble right there. He's got good wrist snap on the ball. And of course, I know he's a little bit nervous, but the thing about it is that he's doing a good job with the basketball. Now, back about 3 or 4 months ago, he couldn't do this at all. But just doing this 3 to 4 minutes a day, he's able to do it just at this point, right like this. That is excellent, Jason. Thank you. Okay. That's good, Jason. All right. Thank you, son. See you later. Bye-bye. All right. If you practice, if you commit yourself to dribbling, that's what you can do. The flapjack. The flip-flapjack. You're saying, what is that? I'm going to teach you right now. It's another creative fundamental drill of dribbling that you can learn right now. Whatever you can do with a basketball, do it. Do it because you're going to become that much better in it. Remember in the square V? We're talking about the square V because every dribble comes from the square V dribble. Everything. Between the legs, side to side, in the front to back, front to front, back to back. Here's where it comes. You see that little dribble I'm doing here? That's how the flapjack came about. What do you do? Well, simply that. Except you're going to do it dribbling between your legs. That's what I said. You're going to do that dribbling between your legs with one hand. I'm going to take the ball right like this. I'm going to throw it through. Remember how we learned with one hand? Throw it through. And then you're going to come over here with the ball. Come over here with it. So it's here, here. But where's the ball going? It's going through your other leg. So you're here, then here. See? So what I want to do here, I want to take the ball. I'm going to go through here. Okay? I'm going to go through here and back through here. I want to stand up straight. I'm going to go down with my right hand. See? All comes from the square V. All of it. All of it comes from the square V. See? Okay, if you do it with your right hand, you got to do it with your left hand. Let's do it left hand. Now the flip-flap jack comes in when you go right to left, right to left, right to left. Okay? Right, down to the left. The flapjack, the flip flapjack, back and forth. A tremendous creative fundamental of dribbling that you can learn. All it takes is commitment, discipline, and practice. There's going to be a lot of frustration. When you start to do this drill, there's going to be a tremendous amount of frustration. The ball's going to go every which way. Stay with it. If you stay with it, you will be able to do it. Put it in, because you can use this in game situations. Just with the hand quickness on the ball. The flip flap jack. Scrambled egg. Another creative fundamental drill of dribbling. Scrambled egg. Okay? Scrambled eggs dribble. All those different parts. It'll scramble your brain for a while. You'll be very frustrated when you do it. But remember this, stay with it. Stay with that commitment. You can do it. Once you do it, you'll find yourself being able to come out on the court. You'll be able to set things up. You'll be able to take that ball and go any place you want with it because your hand will become an extension of it. That's a tremendous, creative, fundamental drill just for you. Dribbling blindfolded. That's what I used to do when I was 8 to 9 years old. Hey, I had fun. It was so much fun for me to come out and dribble blindfolded. At the house where I lived in Clemson, South Carolina, I'd get up very early in the morning when my dad and mother were still asleep. My brother was asleep also, and I'd put a blindfold on. And I'd get in the kitchen area, and I'd try to make it to my bedroom dribbling the ball blindfolded through the house. Sometimes I did it, sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I'd step on my dog. And I knew I stepped on him because I'd step on his head and he'd scream. And I'd take the blindfold off and go down there and pet the little dog, you understand? But I really wanted to dribble. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to get up and play basketball. Let me tell you something. You can do the same thing. Believe me, don't put a blindfold on and do it in your house because you might have expensive things you might knock over. Don't do that, okay? But you can take that basketball, you can dedicate yourself, you can commit to it, you can come out here and dribble, dribble, dribble. If you're a playmaker, you got to dribble. You got to learn the basic fundamentals. You got to learn the creative fundamentals. That's what you want to do. And that's the only way you're going to do it. You got to do it with commitment. You got to have determination, desire. You got to repetitiously come out here and do it over and over and over and over. You're going to get frustrated. It's strenuous. It's exhaustive. You're definitely going to get frustrated. Break through that barrier. Don't let those thoughts come in your mind. Say, hey, I'm going to push forward. I'm going to keep on going. That's all I'm going to do. Remember this. I know that the talent I have is from God. I also know that to reach the level of success that I got to, it had to be through hard work. Hard work and practice, practice, practice. So remember this. If you want to pass the test, be sure that you do your homework.
Now you can learn even more of the secrets that made Pistol Pete Maravich into a basketball legend. Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball. Shooting. dribbling, passing, and ball handling. They all add up to making your game great.
Passing. That's what we're here today to do. How to learn how to pass. I'm going to teach you not only the mechanics of passing, the basic 4 passes, the fundamentals of passing, but I'm also going to teach you today how to do the creative, the more advanced type of pass, the artistic type of pass, the deceptive pass. Now you might be saying, well, hey, I don't have anybody to pass to. I want you to get your ball, though. Maybe you're in your garage watching this. Maybe you're in a gym watching this. But you can pass against a wall. You can pass against a post. You can even pass against a backboard. That's how you can pass. You don't need someone, but if you have someone, that'll help. So let's get ready to do our homework on passing. Mastering the basic passes. Now there are 4 basic fundamental passes that you have to learn before you can do any of the behind the back, between the legs, 180 degree around your body, whatever the pass is. You have to first of all learn the basic passes. When I was a young kid, I would throw 200 to 500 passes a day of the 4 basic fundamental passes, which include these passes: the chest pass, the chest bounce pass, the baseball pass, and the overhead pass. Those are your 4 basic passes. Those are the 4 basic fundamental passes. You have to learn them. Now the first one we're going to teach is called the chest pass. Now it's called the chest pass because it comes from the chest area. I'm going to have it in this area. My elbows are close to my side, just like this. They're close. You don't want your elbows out. If your elbows are out, that means you're going to push the ball. You're going to push it, just like in shooting. Some kids have their elbow out and they push it. They don't become good shooters. Keep your elbows in tight to your body. The hand placement on the ball. My thumbs are evenly spread over the ball. My thumbs are evenly spread over the ball. I have good finger pad control. In other words, I don't want that palm to touch that basketball. I want it on the finger pad as you see it right there. Okay? That's the way you want the ball. So you're evenly spaced. You have good rhythm. You're bent knees. You're confident. You're relaxed. And I'm going to step forward when I throw. I'm going to step with my right foot. Then I'm going to step with my left foot. So I come in here. Let's throw this pass now. I'm going to throw a chest pass from right here. Now, as you can see, look at my follow-through. My index fingers are pointed right directly to where I was passing the ball. My thumbs are pointed downward, just like this. I remember my dad, he told me when I was a kid that he came up one time and he said, "You see this pea?" He says, "You never milked a cow, did you?" I said, "No, Dad, I didn't." He says, "Well, always remember that when you follow through, these thumbs are down, just like you're milking a cow, you see? Just like you're milking, that's how you milk a cow. If you've never milked one, you go like that, and that's what happens. So remember that your elbows are in like this. You come out and you snap those wrists. Snap them. Snap. Snap. See? Snap. And that gives that backspin on the ball. You got to have backspin when you throw that chest pass. So you got it right there. Now, something else we want to do is rhythm. We want to have rhythm when we throw the basketball. Now, when we throw the basketball with rhythm, okay, that means with the feet. See, I'm going to take a step here. I'm going to come back and step there. I'm going to come back and step here. I'm going to come back and step there. So you got good finger pad control, you got good backspin, you got good follow through, those thumbs are down, those index fingers are pointed straight on, you're throwing it from this area right here, your elbows are in tight, and you throw the ball, and you want to hit the man anywhere from the waist up to here. Give him a good target. Give him a good target. So that's where you want to do it. Now let's throw a couple. We're right here. We're going straight out, just like this, see? I'm changing air. I'm getting good rhythm. Good rhythm. My elbows are in. Straight out like this. Good follow through. Look at those thumbs. Look at those thumbs down there. Perfect. I used to throw 200 to 500 of these passes a day. A day when I was your age, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. That's what I used to do. I wanted to perfect every pass. That's the chest pass. Remember, the chest pass, the basic first fundamental pass that you have to learn. The chest bounce pass. That's the second part of the fundamental passes that you must learn. It's thrown just like the chest pass, except you're going to throw it at the floor. So it bounces up to the person. Now, you can throw this pass two ways, okay? You can throw it with backspin. You want to throw it with backspin. Same as the chest pass, except my target is the floor, and I want the ball to come up right in this area, right in the waist area here. When you catch that ball, don't catch it like this because it'll slip through your hands. Don't have your hands like this. Always turn your hands over. I know kids have been taught to catch the ball like this, but it's wrong. Don't catch the ball like this. Catch the ball with one hand over the other, and you'll never miss it. So when you catch that ball, make sure it's like this. Just like this. Just like that. Okay, now the chest bounce pass. When you throw it, you want to throw it at that target. Elbows are in. You got good rhythm. You got that finger pad control. You got backspin. You got a good follow through. Let's go through it. Look at that follow through. You see that rhythm? You see the knees are bent? My thumbs are down. My index fingers is this way, just like this. And I come back up. I change feet. I go back again. Same way. Same follow through. You want to do this pass and perfect it. Each pass that you do, you want to do right. Do it right. At my camp in the summer times, I see kids that'll do 3 or 4 right, and then they'll get lazy or bored or something. I know they're not going to be basketball players. If you want to be a basketball player, you got to perfect these basic fundamental passes. So make sure you go just like this. Remember, the bounce pass, it's a great pass to learn how to do. It's just a derivative of the chest pass, and it's a fundamental pass that you have to put into your repertoire. The overhead pass, that's the third basic fundamental pass that I'm going to teach you today. Now the overhead pass is thrown just like the other two basic fundamental passes. the chest, and the chest bounce. The mechanics are the same. In all four of these passes that you're going to learn today, all the mechanics are the same. You have the finger pad control, you have backspin, you have good follow through, you have your elbows in. So when we throw this overhead pass, make sure that your elbows are in, just like this. Okay? You don't want them out, because then you're going to be pushing the ball. You want to pass the ball, pass it. So the elbows are there. I got good extension on with my thumbs. They're evenly spaced. It's on finger pad. I'm going to throw that ball just like that. You notice that follow through? That follow through is the same. Notice that backspin? Now look at that. It's the same follow through. See? Remember the cow? It's the same way. Chest pass, chest bounce, overhead. Same follow through. See? Same basic pass. See that nice follow through? It's always the same. The overhead pass, it's a great pass to throw. Remember, have good finger pad control, backspin, follow through. Don't get the ball back in here, in this area here, okay? Make sure your elbows are in tight and they're not out, but they're in tight to your head. You have a good open window right here to throw the pass. Make sure that you throw it. You can throw it two ways. You can throw it with backspin, or you can throw a dead ball. I can throw a dead ball here the same way. See? Dead ball. The best overhead passer I ever knew was a guy who played in the NBA, and his name was Wes Unseld. He used to, in practice, he would take the basketball, he would throw it up against the board, jump up, turn around, and fire an overhead pass and hit the other backboard 6 to 7 out of 10 times. He was the best outlet passer I've ever seen that ever played the game of basketball. But he was a great overhead passer. The reason was because he practiced and practiced and practiced. Okay? So remember, when you do the overhead pass, practice it. The fourth of the basic fundamental passes is called the baseball pass. Now the baseball pass is a good pass. You can use it in a lot of ways. Mostly use it when you see someone breaking for the basket and you can throw a long pass, and it's called the baseball pass. But the mistake that most kids make is they take this pass and they take it way back here when they throw it. You don't want to take it way back here, because what happens? If I take it way back here and I throw that ball, you're going to get this spin on the ball. It's going to curve on you and you're not going to have control. Plus the fact you always use that left hand. Of course, if you're left-handed, then you always use your right hand. You use that for protection. Hey, maybe at the last second I see a defender come into the pitcher and I want to stop the ball. I don't want to throw it, so I can bring it back. But if you just stand here like this and throw the ball, hey, you're not going to be able to bring it back. The defensive man is going to steal it. And then you're going to see a guy get off the bench and go to the scores table. And you're going to be sitting on the pine. So be sure that you throw it from this angle. Look, you can throw the baseball pass from right behind the ear. I can throw the baseball pass the length of the court from right here. Okay? If you can throw it to half court, that's a good pass for you to throw. But just from right here, you don't have to take it way back, from right here. Okay? Keep this left arm up, keep it there like this, and throw it straight out. There's that thumb. Look at that thumb. Look at that follow through. The follow through is the same in every basic pass. Okay? It's got backspin. It's got good finger pad control. It's got good follow through. Okay? Let's try it again. I'm here, and I'm going to step out with my left leg. Step out with my left leg, just like this. Have good rhythm. You got to have rhythm when you throw the basketball. When you pass it, you got to have rhythm, okay? So it's straight out like this. You get it back. Now you take the change over. Your right leg's in front. Here's the left hand right here. If you do it from this side, you got to do it from the opposite side. So you're here, back, straight. There's the thumb. Straight out. See the backspin on the ball? Snap that wrist. See? Snap that wrist. Have to give that backspin on the ball. Same way. Straight out. The baseball pass. It's the fourth pass in the basic fundamental passes. I used to throw all four of these passes at least 500 times a day when I was a small kid, between 7 and 14 years of age. It's something that you have to do. You have to learn the basics first. So I hope you will do your homework with these fundamental passes. Now you've just learned how to throw the chest pass, the chest bounce, the overhead, and the baseball pass. 4 basic fundamental passes. But there's one mistake that all kids make, and that is they telegraph the pass. Telegraph, what do you mean? I'm showing where the pass is going to be made. I'm looking down, I get ready to throw, and the defensive man knocks it down. I do it again, he knocks it down. Again, he knocks it down. Again, he knocks it down. I keep telling myself, and the coach says too, why do you telegraph your pass, Pete? Don't you know how to fake? That's what I want you to know right now. You have to fake. Fake. All you got to do is fake. See, you can fake like this and come over like that. He doesn't know. See, he's going to go for whatever fake you go with. Whatever fake you back and right over his ear. See, I can make this pass. Hold on. I can make it go right over his ear, and he won't get the pass. And you get this ball. I want you to get this ball. Get that ball. Get that hand up there. You got to be quick when you get that. But I might go back. See, I got him faking again. You got to fake when you pass. Make sure that you fake. So you can go between his legs. He doesn't know. Get this ball now. Ready? He can't get that ball. He can't get it. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go right by his ear, right there. You see that? Why couldn't he get it? I'll tell you why. Because I'm faking. Because he doesn't know what I'm going to do. I'm not telegraphing the pass. So remember, don't telegraph the pass. If you don't do that, relax, concentrate, fake, and then your basketball will not get deflected and you won't be sitting on the end of the pine. Now that you've learned to throw the 4 basic fundamental passes, the chest bounce, overhead, and baseball, now you got to practice, practice, practice. You got to get someone to throw the ball to. Maybe your brother, your sister, your father, your mother, your best friend. You might want to do it against a backboard, maybe against a post, maybe against a tree, maybe against a wall. But you got to pass, 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 pass. All these 4 basic fundamental passes, you have to practice more and more. Now this is called target passing. Target passing. Notice I'm following through. I'm hitting that target, wherever it is. Wherever she wants it, that's where I'm passing to. She's the one that determines where she wants me to throw it. Oh, you see that one? She went right in front of her face. Let me tell you one thing. Whenever someone tells you to pass here, they'll never miss that pass. They'll miss any of these other ones, but they'll never miss this one in front of their face because they'll mess up their pretty little face, and they don't want to have that done. You know, this ball will cause your nose to go flat, and you don't want that to happen. So that's good, Jane. Anywhere else. Be accurate. Be accurate. Okay. Now that is called target passing. Remember, be accurate, do it quickly. Now you just don't have to do the chest pass. You can do the chest bounce pass, you can do the baseball, you can do the overhead, you can do any number of passes. But be sure to do it. Practice your target passing. In the 50s and the 60s, if you threw any pass other than the 4 basic fundamental passes, you would find yourself right next to the coach because that was called the best seat in the house. You might even find yourself behind the coach in the stands, eating some popcorn and clapping for the team that you were once on. Why is that? Well, maybe you threw a behind-the-back pass. Or maybe you threw a between-the-legs pass. You see, it was a rarity to see anyone throw those types of passes back in the 50s and the 60s. It wasn't allowed. You had to be basic. You had to be structured. You had to be formal when you passed the basketball. And that's the way it was back then. It was a rarity to see a guy like Bob Cousy come down the court, go behind his back or between his legs with a pass. But boy, did the fans like to see that type of passing. That's creative. It's advanced. You will never see someone like Larry Bird or Magic Johnson or Isaiah Thomas just throwing advanced creative passing, because first they had to be proficient in the basic passes. That's how they became that good at deceptive passing. Let me tell you something. The game has really changed. I walked into the Spectrum one night to play basketball against the 76ers. There was a big sign. And what was on that sign? It was 30 feet long and 15 feet high. It said this, Pistol Pete, why do hot dogs cost 15 cents in Philly and $2 million in Atlanta? Well, let me tell you. It was funny then, and it's funny now to me. You know why? Because the game has really changed. It's changed because the fans now are demanding more and more advanced passes. They're demanding more imagination, more artistic passes. That's what they want to see. That's what brings them back into the game. That's why they want to see the dunks and the slams and the different passes behind the back and between the legs. That's what it's all about. Now, we're going in right now to the basic advanced passes right now. So you get your basketball and let's start doing our homework. The behind the back pass, that's the first artistic, deceptive advanced pass I want to teach you today. Now you can do this pass by yourself. This is how you learn it. Just take the ball, go behind your back and throw it up in the air and catch it just like that. Just like this. Going back and forth. Make sure the palm is up. Make sure the palm is up in this fashion when you throw it. Get it behind you and throw it to yourself. When you do it right side, go to your left side. If you don't have anybody to throw the pass to, throw it to yourself. It's a lot of fun, believe me. So just do like this. Now, when I was a small child, my dad used to be standing here, and he taught me how to throw the behind the back pass. He would have me stand just like this sideways. He was facing me, and he'd make me take the ball around, and I would do just like this. Bring it around to him, hand it to him. All I'd do is hand it to him, because I was only like 7, 8 years old, and I was too small to really do anything at that point. So I'd just hand it. Then I'd do it on the left side, the same way. Just take the ball, hand it to him, he'd hand it back, just like this. Then finally, when I got good enough, he'd say, okay, Pete, face me. Now go 180 degrees around your body. When you go 180 degrees around your body, that means that you're getting more accurate with the pass. So I go like this, making sure I don't knock him over with the pass. Then I take a step back. Same way. I take another step back. Always trying to get accuracy. I wanted to get accuracy. You see, the more you throw this particular type of pass, the better you get at it. It's like anything else. The more you practice, the better you get at it. The more proficient you get at it. I used to throw the behind the back pass a great deal. I used to use it in unique situations because that is the best pass to use. It's a good advanced pass. Make sure that when you come around, you see you got that hand just like that. Make sure you go around. You should throw strikes. That man shouldn't have to move. He shouldn't have to move out of that spot where he is. You should be accurate when you pass. Now I used to throw this pass about 60 to 70 feet real easy. It was not hard at all to throw this pass that far. And the reason was because I threw it all the time. Great. That's the behind the back pass. It's a pass that you can try. And I hope you will try it because I think you'll like it. The behind the back bounce pass. It's just like the behind the back pass that you just learned, except you're going to bounce it. All right, now the best way to do that, there's going to be certain situations when you're on the court that you're not going to be able to throw that behind the back pass. Why? Because the defender might have his hand there. You might have to throw the bounce pass. A bounce pass is a better pass to throw, especially in fast break situations. All right? So remember this, that when you throw this behind the back bounce pass, make sure it's like this. You get your hand out just like that. Now there's a little drill that you can do. I'm going to go back and forth. Again, my dad used to stand here and he'd have me go back and forth taking one dribble. He would be stationary and I would be moving. I would just take one dribble and I'd make sure that I bounced it right up to where his waist was. I'd take one dribble here and bounce it right there. He'd give it back to me. I'd come this way and bounce it again. Same way. This way, bounce it. And then he'd just have me just keep doing this. Just like this. Back and forth. You got to hit a stationary target. While you're moving, you hit that stationary target. That's the behind the back bounce pass. Won't you try it? I think you'll like it. The between the legs pass. This is an exciting pass. You got to learn this pass. I'll tell you why. It's very deceptive. When I went to college at LSU, this is the pass I used the most. The reason is, on a fast break situation, it's a great pass to use. It's an easy pass to throw once you learn it, but first you got to learn it. It's just like it says, between the legs. The reason it becomes so deceptive is that when you throw the ball through going full speed in this fashion, like this, that hand comes straight out. It just comes straight out. It almost looks like you're getting ready to hand the ball off to the man going in from the side. See? Just like that. That's what it looks like. At slow motion, it might not look like that, but at full speed, it does. It's a great deceptive pass. So let's learn how to throw it. Just like we learned how to throw the behind the back bounce, we're going to do the same thing with the between the legs. Okay? Let's go for it. Get that hand out. That's right. Between the legs pass. Do it for me and for you. Strike! How about that? A strike! Boy, I bet you can get a strike too. You know something? You're probably saying, well, what's that got to do with this creative pass? Well, it has a lot to do with it. It's called the alley-oop pass. It was a name that my dad developed and gave to me back 25 years ago. The alley-oop pass, because the pass looks like an alley-oop pass. Don't forget that when you throw this pass, this is the first thing you do, just like you bowl, okay? I remember when I played with the Atlanta Hawks, one time I got a rebound, just like this, got the ball, and just before I took one dribble, everybody was heading back down the court. I saw Lou Hudson, who was on the Hawks teams with me, and I took the pass, and I just rolled it like that and threw my arm up in the air, just like that. And other guys were looking up in the air, and the pass flew right by the defenders. Lou Hudson picked it up and went in and jammed it. It was a good pass. You don't always want to throw that bowling ball pass, though. You got to have the unique situation to do that. But the alley-oop pass is thrown just like you would bowl. You got the hand underneath, just like this. You got your left hand for protection, just like this. Always keep that left hand out. In case a defender walks in, you can stop it. Now you can throw this pass straight on, just like that, or you can throw it from an out-of-bounds position all the way down the court. You can also throw it straight up in the air. That's where it gets alley-oop. Alley-oop. Don't forget that when you pass this ball, when you do it, make sure you alley-oop it up. Alley-oop it. That's what it is, the alley-oop. Put it into your passing game. The discus pass. Now, that was a little bit exaggerated. That's not how you want to throw the pass, okay? But it's called the discus pass. The reason it's called the discus pass is because you're going to throw it just like a discus. You're going to get it out here, and you're going to throw it like this. Why do you want to throw the ball like this? Let me tell you why. The reason is it's much easier to throw this type of pass here than it is to throw it from back here. It's real easy. it requires no strength because it's all momentum, you see. It's a natural reaction of the arm and the shoulder to take it back and throw it like this. But you have that left arm for protection. You got to have it out there. So you go just like this. You bring it back, and then you throw it out. You throw it out. See that follow through? This is a pass that you really want to use when you come off the board. You get the ball off the backboard, you look down, you see someone for the basket, and you let it go all the way down. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to throw that ball, but be sure that you have protection with it, just like this. It's called the discus pass. I think you'll like it, and you practice it. The short pro pass. Now, when do you use this type of pass? The best time to use this pass is when you're going into the pivot. When the defender's on you like that, okay, you can use this short pro flip pass. It's just that quick. You don't fake it, you don't do anything. You just pass it very quickly before the guy even raises his hand or makes a reaction. You just hear right here, and you're right there, just like that. Real quick, see? Real quick. The short pro pass, real quick. You want to get this pass in. It's a great pass to hit the pivot man. Hit your center. You're coming down the court, you see your pivot man's right there, your man's on you, and you just go right into him, just like this. Either side. You're right here with the pass, you see your man, and you go right over here. See? Same way over there. Just real quick. There's no real reaction to it. You just throw it. That's called the short pro flip pass. I think you'll like it. The hook pass. It's a great pass to use, especially when you're going into the pivot. It's an advanced pass. It's not one of your basic passes. Now, why is it good? There's a couple of reasons. The defensive man, usually, he comes up on the person. And what we call this, when he comes up this close, we're going to leg whip him. We're going to get our foot, we're going to cross over in front of his foot. Just cross over. Just leg whip him right here to this position here, and then we're going to throw that hook pass. We're going to throw it around to that pivot man. That's why it's such a good pass. You got to cross over and then hook. Remember, when you throw this pass, remember that you got to make this simple crossover. See, that's a crossover step. You go from left to right, and you go from right to left. You can just sit there and do this. See, that's a good little drill to do. It's a crossover step. Crossover, okay? That's called the hook pass. Remember, a couple more times. Defensive man comes up, you cross over, lean, and fire into the pivot. Defensive man comes up, you cross over, lean, and fire into the pivot. Comes over, lean, fire into the pivot. The hook pass. If you want to bait your man, throw the hook pass. The behind the neck pass, a tremendous pass, especially on a 2-on-1 fast break. You see, the deceptive part of it is the defensive man, Tommy, when he was in here on me, okay, when I had the ball right here, Artis was coming into the hoop. Right here, I was getting ready to go for a layup. As I went up right here, I just took this ball, went behind my neck like this, and went up with the shot. It almost looks like you're going to shoot the layup. Let's try that one more time. You see, you set the guy up. You're coming in with one. You're getting ready to go up. It's right over the back of the shoulder and up with the shot. It's a great pass, tremendous pass. It's an advanced pass. Now, let's get into it right now, okay? What we're going to do is just throw it. This is how you throw it. You take the ball. You don't throw it over your head. You throw it directly behind your head. You remember in the ball handling we did around the world, it's the same thing. Remember this? It's the same situation, except you take it and you pass the ball. You take your hand here and throw it right across. See? Throw it. Just like this. All with your wrist. See, you don't give it away. You don't take your arm and go like that. It won't be a fake then. You got to just do it with your wrist. Just like that. The reason it's so deceptive is because it's behind the neck. It's so quick when you do it. And then you follow up. You follow up like you shot it. See? You follow up and shoot. See? You follow up and shoot. The behind the neck pass. A good pass, especially in a 2-on-1 fast break. I need someone to come in and help me with this pass. Come on in. There we go. Okay? All right. You see, that's what happened. It kind of reminds me of a story. When I was at LSU, we were playing against, I forget who the team was, but we were like 2 or 3 points down, and we had the ball. And I made a fake, and I drove in baseline. I was going up for a layup, and the ball was going up, and a guy undercut me. And I spun down, and I hit on the floor, and the ball came down, hit me right in the nose, and I rolled over it, and I got up because all of a sudden, I was going to go to the foul line. I said, hey, there's only about 4 seconds left. I'll make these 2 free throws. We still got a chance to win. We'll only be down 1 point. But the referee called a charge. I couldn't believe it. I lost my cool. I grabbed the ball. He said, give me the ball. I said, I'm not giving you the ball. I knew the game was over. You know how I knew? Because 3 reporters were sitting right behind the basket, and they got up to go write the story. So it must have been over. So I figured I'd have a little fun. So I grabbed the ball, see, and he said, give me the ball. I said, no. He said, you give me that ball, I'm going to give you a technical. I said, give it. And he gave me a technical, and the crowd was in it and everything else. He said, I want the ball. I said, no, I'm not giving you the ball. He says, you say one more word, and you're going to get another test. I said, word. And he gave me another technical. And finally he said, I want that ball now. I said, okay. And I went like this, and that ring, and he hit that chair and fell down. And when he was falling down, he said, you're out of here. And he threw me out of the game. Of course, the game was lost anyway. I figured, why not have a little fun, give the people their money's worth, right? Well, that's how this pass came about. It's called the wrist pass. It's a very deceptive pass. Now, here's how you throw it. It's a very difficult pass to throw. You take it just like you're going to throw a chest bounce pass. Just like I'm going to throw the ball over here, okay? I'm going to throw a little chest bounce pass. That's how you set it up. You come down on a 3-on-1, see? You're coming down on that 3-on-1, you throw a little chest bounce. The next time you come down, you see, you set the man up. All of a sudden, you're coming down like this, and all of a sudden, you take that ball, and you go right here, and you go, whoosh, and the ball goes on the other side. It's amazing. And what happens? You know what's happened? The guy there is going to eat air. You ever seen a guy eat air? That's what happens on that pass. Called the wrist pass. Right here. Straight over. It's very deceptive. How do you throw it? You lock your arms completely out. You lock your arms completely out, and it's all wrist. It's just wrist. It's wrist. Wrist. You don't throw it like this. It's not deceptive that way. You can go either way with it, see? You can throw it that way too, see? Either way. Or this way. Boy, is it a deceptive pass. I guarantee you, look at, he doesn't know when I'm going to throw it to him over there. See? Look at that. He's getting ready. The wrist pass. Hey, it'll literally make the opponent eat air. The dribble slap pass. A tremendous fast break pass. Of course, it's also very difficult, especially when you're coming down the court full speed. You don't, even when I used to do the pass, I wouldn't even know which way it was going to go until the last second. It's an instinctive type of pass. Now, how do you throw it? Let's get right into it. Right here. Let's take it. I'm going to take one dribble. Now, when I take this dribble, when that ball's going down, my hand's going over the top. Okay? Now, when it comes back up, my hand's going under the bottom. Now, I've got 2 options. I can go here with the pass, or as it's coming back up right there, and the hand goes over, then under, and it come back, I can go over there with the pass. So watch what happens. We're here, over there. We're here, over there. You say, that might be a little bit hard. You might say, I don't think I better try that. My coach, don't try it. You don't try it until you learn the basic passes. You don't try it until you can do it. When you can do it, then you try it. You see, I could do it. I could do this pass. It was an exciting pass to do. It really made the defensive man, he didn't know which way to turn. He didn't know which way to go because my hands were going every way. You can do the same thing on the dribble. You see, you come down here, you go like this, and you go over here and dribble to the left. The dribble slap. The dribble slap pass. You can learn it, you can do it. It's going to be hard. You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to be a good ball handler. You've got to be a good dribbler. And you've got to be a good passer. And you've got to use it in the right situation. In the right situation. But it's a great creative pass for you to learn. Well, this sure has been fun to be here today with you to teach you the fundamentals of passing, to show you some advanced creative passing, to show you the art of passing. It's been my pleasure to come into your living room to show you this today. I want to tell you this, though. You can pass any amount of imagination you can even conceive of. That's the type of pass you should throw. Whatever you can think about. I only showed you a few artistic passes. There are so many more. Let your imagination run wild. But remember this, before you ever try a deceptive pass, make sure that you can do the fundamental pass, which includes the chest bounce, the overhead, and the baseball. And remember this, don't let too much time pass until you do your homework.
Now you can learn even more of the secrets that made Pistol Pete Maravich into a basketball legend. Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball. Shooting. Dribbling. Passing. And ball handling. They all add up to making your game great.
Dress like a winner in your official Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball t-shirt. Look your best, feel your best. Be a part of the Pistols team as you wear this one-of-a-kind t-shirt. The logo sporting Pistol Pete's legendary floppy socks not only identifies you as a serious student of the game, but it will also help remind you to keep the fun in the fundamentals of basketball. Let the Pistol help you with your homework, because nobody knows today who will be a legend tomorrow. To order your very own Pistol Pete t-shirt, send $9.95 plus $1 for postage and handling to Pistol Pete T-shirts, Post Office Box 80089, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
This empty gym here reminds me so much of a gym I grew up in Clemson, South Carolina. I literally spent thousands upon thousands of hours in a gym just like this. The only real sounds I ever heard was the cracking of the floor, the echoes of the rafters, or maybe just the ball hitting the rim or against the backboard. It was an exciting time of my life. And I'm here today. The purpose of this video is to teach you how to shoot. I've divided it up into 3 sections. First of all is the mechanics of shooting a basketball, the fundamental part of it. The second part is, of course, the psychology of shooting a basketball. And the third part is the application of the skills of shooting a basketball. Let's get right into it. First of all, where does the ball sit? Well, for so long, and still today, people say that the ball should be on your fingertips. But if I had the ball on my fingertips, this is where it would be. I don't think you've seen too many people shoot the basketball like this. But the correct way where the ball should sit, first of all, is on the pad of the hand. And then the ball is also going to rest on the fingers themselves. So the ball rests on the finger pad. The finger pad, whether you're right-handed or whether you're left-handed. It doesn't matter. It's going to sit on the fingers and come down to the pad. One thing you want is not to have the palm area touching the ball. You want this to be completely open and empty of the basketball. Why? Well, there's a simple illustration of this. If I took this basketball and place it in my palm and move my palm back and forth, you can see the basketball falls out. But if I move it up on the finger pads, on my fingers, on the pad, move it back and forth, you can see that I have control of the basketball. And this is what happens. You want the ball on the fingers, the pad, making sure the palm is not on the basketball at all. The second part is the hand. Where should the hand be placed on the basketball? Well, the meatier portion of the hand, the back of the hand, should be placed right in the center of the basketball. But the one finger that shoots the basketball, and 98% of shooters today, whether you're playing in the high school level, junior high level, college level, or the NBA, they normally shoot with their index finger. Now, how do I know that? Well, whichever finger is in the center of the basketball, that's the last finger that the ball is going to roll off on. Now, how does that happen? Well, let me show you what happens when a ball rolls off and you get ready to shoot. In slow motion, as you can see me doing here, the first thing that comes off is the thumb, and then there's the little finger, then this finger, then, of course, the middle finger, and the last finger off the basketball is your index or your forefinger. The reason is, no matter where I put my finger, it's in the center of the basketball, this forefinger. When you place your hand behind the basketball, make sure that this meaty portion of your hand, from your knuckles back to your wrist, are in the center of the basketball. Then this forefinger, as you can see, this forefinger is in the center. It's a straight angle. But you can see the rest of my fingers are at a slight angle to the right. That's what happens. Your hand is slightly in a degree to the right, maybe 5 or 10 degrees to the right. But the center of my hand, from the knuckles back, is straight on the ball with this finger. So when I release it, it goes off of this finger. Next thing we want to talk about is the elbow. How is the elbow and the arm supposed to look? Well, it's supposed to look like this, straight. It should be perpendicular to the rim. The rim sits in a horizontal fashion. The arm sits in a vertical fashion. So we want the elbow to be perpendicular to the rim, just like a T. We want to form a T when we have the basketball in this area right here. Now, what happens? I've seen so many kids, most of them, they always have their elbow out like this to shoot the basketball. The reason for this is when they grow up, they take too many shots that are too far for themselves. And they don't really learn the mechanics of shooting. They start pushing the basketball. They don't shoot the basketball. So what you want is you want the elbows straight like this. Here's what happens. If I move my elbow out like this, you can see that just by turning my hand on the basketball, my elbow will go out. When your elbow is straight, your hand is going to be a slightly 5 to 10 degrees to the right on the basketball, and your forefinger is going to be in the center. Let's go into this, the left hand. Now, of course, where should the left hand be on the basketball? It really depends upon your own comfortability as far as shooting the basketball. When I shoot the basketball, I like it right here. But some people will have their hand up here. Some will have it a little bit further under. But remember this about the left hand. The left hand basically does not do the shooting. The left hand basically guides the basketball, and you should not have the basketball in the left hand in a firm grip. It should just be sitting there. If I let go of my left hand right now, watch what happens. The ball should fall out. I don't want to grab the ball very hard with the left hand at all. So you'll be able to find out where that left hand should go just by when you shoot the basketball. Now let's look at the wrist. The wrist is how you get the backspin on the ball. We're going to talk about backspin. First of all, how do I get backspin? Well, I get that. As you can see my wrist and my hand area right here, you can see my hand is at a flat angle. And this is really where the ball should sit on the hand and on the wrist area. It should be a flat angle so that when you release the basketball, when you release it, you have what's called the wrist flex or the wrist snap. It's just like this. This is what happens. And when you snap your wrist like this, when you snap your wrist like that, you will get what's called backspin. The backspin will come on the basketball. So wrist snap, wrist flex is very important. You have to know how to snap your wrist. Some guys can't get backspin because of the fact that they just have this Frankenstein type of approach in shooting and releasing the basketball. So make sure that you're very relaxed when you snap that wrist. The next thing we want to talk about is the gun barrel. Now, the gun barrel is from the ball all the way down to the shoulder. That's what shoots the basketball. Your arm is what shoots the basketball. So when I shoot the basketball and I release it, I have what's called the gun barrel. It goes all the way to the tip of my finger right here. That's where it goes from that point on. Now, when I shoot the basketball, when I release it, I want to call what's called the follow-through freeze. Literally, if I could just wrap my finger, that index finger, around the center part of that rim, right in the front of that rim, right in the front of this rim right here, just taking that finger like this. So when I release the ball, I want that hand to be straight out, and I want to hold that hand up at least 1,000 count. I would say at least 1 second to hold it up. Because if you don't hold it up, that's how you're going to get your shots to fall short, they're going to fall long, or anything else. It's really in this gun barrel approach that when you release the ball and you follow through and you freeze, when you freeze your arm up here, you're going to get good follow through, and wherever your arm goes, that's where the ball goes. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is, of course, the target. Now, the target, of course, is the rim. Now, I want to look directly at the rim. I want to look at the front of the rim. And as you can see, that rim is divided up, and it's 360 degrees. It's a center. It's a circle. And if I can put in my mind that just to divide that up and just come to the front of that rim when I shoot the basketball, no matter where I shoot from any area of the court, I look directly at the front of that rim. And that's my target. Because you see, when someone does follow the ball, when they do release it, as I get ready to release this ball right here, you can see if I was to just follow the ball, then I'd have to go like this. Watch. And then release it. Well, nobody can shoot like that because you're not looking at the rim. So what happens is this. When someone does follow the ball, they're here, and they see the rim, then they release it. When they've released the ball, then they start following it. The arc of the ball, or the arch of the ball, some coaches call it arch, some coaches call it arc. But the thing about it is, it's the curvature of the ball when you shoot it. In other words, the higher the arc, I believe the less degree of mistakes that you will have when you shoot the basketball. Some people shoot a flat arc. They may shoot the ball straight on to the rim, barely getting over the front of it. Other people shoot a real high arc. And it literally, when you shoot, the higher the arc you shoot, what happens is this. The ball, when it hits the rim, will have a better opportunity for your offensive players to get the rebound and to put it back in. The flatter the arc, when it does hit the rim, it's going to come flying way out, and it's really going to give an opportunity to the other team to fast break on you. So when you shoot the basketball, you want it to be able to hang on the rim. If you do miss it, make sure it hangs on the rim, because if it hangs on the rim, you're going to get some of your offensive players, your centers and your forwards are going to rebound it and lay it back in, and they're going to like you for that. So be sure that when you shoot the basketball, that you shoot with enough arc on the basketball that it's going to hang the ball closely to the rim. Mechanics of shooting. Let me go over those again one more time for you. First of all is finger pad control. Secondly, make sure that the hand is directly behind the ball. Thirdly, always have your elbow straight. Fourth, make sure that the left hand is there just to support the basketball, but don't hold it there real firm. Fifthly, wrist flex, the snapping of the wrist, which will give you backspin. Sixth, the gun barrel approach. Wherever you shoot the basketball, that's where the arm goes. 7, the follow-through freeze. Make sure that when you shoot it, that you freeze your arm for at least 1 second. 8, the target should be the front of the rim. 9, always develop the proper arc or proper arch when you shoot the basketball. 10, learn to hang the ball close to the rim. One of the most important aspects of shooting a basketball is what I call the open window technique. Now, what does that mean? Well, let me explain it to you. Both eyes have to be on the front of the rim. And what most mistakes that are made by young people, even people that are in college, even players that are in the NBA, some of them are called one-eyed shooters. Now, what does that mean, being a one-eyed shooter? Well, here's what happens. If their arm is right here, if I was to close my left eye right now, all my right eye sees is my wrist. So I really only have one eye that's on the target. My other eye is on my wrist. So what happens when you have this one-eyed perception, as it might say? Here's what happens. Sometime get a friend of yours and ask him to do this little game. And what it is just have your friend close one eye and have your friend start throwing you some change and see if you can catch it. I caught that one. I caught that one. I missed that. I missed that. Now what happens when you throw the change into someone, I have good direction with my eye. If you've ever shot pool in your lifetime, you can line up the ball one behind the other with one eye. You have good direction, but you have no depth. Now what is depth perception? Depth perception is the ability to conceive how far you are from a certain object. When I shoot the basketball, I must have both eyes on the target. If I only have one eye, that's how most of you, when you shoot the basketball, you either fall short or you go real long and it might come off the board real hard. So what you want to do is this. Instead of having your arm here, just move it off like this, maybe 2 inches. That's all you have to do. Maybe an inch, maybe an inch and a half, but the maximum is 2 inches. Your elbow is straight. Here I have both eyes on the target. I have an open window, an open viewing to the target to where I am shooting the basketball. So remember, the thing that you want is don't have your arm here, but just move it over so that you have both eyes on the target. Next we want to talk about the body, the different parts of the body that is utilized in shooting a basketball. Now the head is very important. Most people don't think the head has anything to do with shooting, but it really does. You know, basically the average head weighs somewhere between 20 and 25 pounds. So that when you shoot a basketball, if I was to rock my head when I shot, so I've seen some guys shoot and put their head forward, some shoot and put their head back, some guys lean like this when they shoot, some guys lean at this angle when they shoot. You don't want any movement of the head when you shoot a basketball. So when I get ready to shoot it, I've got both eyes on the target, I have the open window technique. I'm going to make sure that my head is still. I want it completely still when I release the basketball. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the shoulders. Now the shoulders should be squared up to the basket. I want the shoulders squared up to the basket. I want my chest area right here to be squared to the basket. I want my stomach area right here to be squared to the basket. I don't want to be off like this. I don't want to be off like this. I want to make sure that I'm completely in front of the basket, completely in front of that rim, and I want to make sure as I keep going down that my knees are flexed, they're bent just a little bit when I'm getting ready to release the ball. And if I go down to my feet, since I shoot with the right hand, I want to make sure that my right foot is maybe 1.5 to 2 inches in front of my left foot. Why? Because I'm a right-handed shooter. Everything's coming from the right side. I would be going against myself if I had my left foot in front. See, I'd be shooting back against myself. So I want to shoot with my right foot in front. If you're left-handed, make sure that your left foot is just a little bit in front. Make sure that your toes are pointed directly towards the front of the rim when you shoot the basketball. Directly like this. What is the width of the feet? The width depends upon how tall you are. If you're 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", it might be 6 or 8 inches. If you're 7 feet, 6 or 8 inches to a 7-footer might be 10 to 12 inches. Wherever it's comfortable for you when you release the basketball, when you're getting ready to shoot the basketball. Now the next thing we want to talk about is leg power. The power boost of the legs, which gets the ball to the hoop. Leg power is so very important. And the reason it's important is because if you don't have strong legs, you're going to find yourself, especially in the third or the fourth quarter, having your shot just come up a little bit short most of the time. So you want to have strong legs when you shoot the basketball. You want to make sure that your elbows are close to your side. Don't have your elbows out. Many youngsters make the mistake when they pass the ball or when they shoot the basketball, they want to have their elbows out. Now, we went over that before, but I want to explain to you again. The reason you don't want your elbows out like this is because you'll start pushing the ball. You'll start pushing the basketball, and you want to shoot it. So keep your elbows close to your side, almost as if you had a little chain that was hooked around your arm, and you couldn't pull it away. So that when I take the basketball here, you can see my elbow is almost touching my side. In fact, it is touching my side right now. As I go up to shoot the basketball, you can see I have the straight elbow and everything else that we've talked about. So make sure that your elbows are close to your side. Now, as I go up, watch this last point. As I go up right here, you see my elbow? It's directly in front of the rim. This is where you can check yourself. You can freeze yourself. As I get ready to shoot the basketball, right here, I can just take my elbow and make sure that it's facing the rim. What happens is most kids' elbow will be out like this. It's not facing the rim. And this is why you're beginning to push the basketball. So make sure that that elbow is close to your side. And as you raise your hand up to release the basketball like this, that elbow is directly pointed towards the front of that rim. Let's take the next few minutes to talk about the psychology of shooting. I call them the 3 C's. The first is conceptualization or image shooting. Now let me ask you a question. What do you think about when I say the word elephant? Or maybe if I say this word, giraffe. Do you have an image in your mind of that elephant and of that giraffe? Well, if you're like most people, you do, because I did. And I'm sure you did also. Now, that's what we're talking about today, is image shooting. This is the first part. When I was a little kid, let me give you an example. When I was just a little kid, my dad came to me in the gym one day and he said, "Pete, I don't like the way you're shooting. You're not shooting too good." And I said, "Well, I'm trying to." He says, "But you really need to do something." I said, "What's that?" He said, "I want you to think of a little man." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, take this little man and picture him in your mind. And this little man, he does all your shooting when you're not shooting. And he shoots and he shoots and he shoots. And everything he does, he never misses. Your little man never misses. I want you to put that into your head. This little man never misses. Now, when you shoot, you'll never miss either." So I took that as a 7- and 8-year-old, and I began thinking about that all day long. And that's one of the aspects of getting that image into your mind. You want to see the ball released and into the hoop before you ever shoot it. That's called image shooting. Now, you create your own image in your mind, but be sure to do this, that when you release the ball, make sure you see it going through the hoop. Now, the second part, of course, is concentration. Let me give you another example. I remember when I was a kid, again, my dad knew that the basketball was an extension of my hand. Everywhere I went, I took the basketball. One of the places that I took the basketball was to bed with me. You know, many kids today, they either take a teddy bear, they take a stuffed animal, or they take a baby doll, or they take something like that when you're a small kid to bed with you. But I took a basketball. The reason I took a basketball is because I wanted it near me. I wanted it next to me. I was what you might call a basketball android. I was robotized into playing the game of basketball. But I would lay flat on the bed right before I went to sleep, and I would start shooting up in the air. And I would say three things. I would say finger pad control, backspin, follow through. Finger pad control, backspin, follow through. I might do this for 30 or 45 minutes a night. The reason is I was trying to get a mindset. I was trying to disciplining my mind, because see, concentration is disciplining your mind and your body to shoot. And this was what I was trying to do, even when I was laying in bed. So when I was lying in bed and I was shooting like this up in the air, I was concentrating. I was concentrating. I was concentrating on those three details and aspects of shooting a basketball. The third C is confidence. Now, how do you build your confidence? One of the ways I used to build my confidence was when I was shooting the basketball. If I was missing a great deal when I was practicing by myself, say I shot 3 or 4 or 5 shots and maybe only made one, what I would do is get the basketball, I'd come back under the basket, and I'd start shooting layups. Say I was 1 for 5. I'd shoot a layup, that'd make me 2 for 6. I would shoot a layup, that'd make me 3 for 7. I would shoot a layup, that would make me 4 for 8. I would shoot a layup, that'd make me 5 for 9. I was over 50%. And then I would go back out and I'd begin shooting again my regular shots. But I wanted to keep myself over 50% when I practiced, because it would build greater confidence in me. You see, the key to greater confidence is never letting yourself be discouraged, especially when you shoot the basketball. If you're a good shooter, if you've got all the mechanics, if you've got the right habits when you shoot the basketball, then you're going to be a shooter. Not only will you be a shooter, but you also will be a scorer. So the most important thing is, again, is to remember, don't be discouraged. But if you miss a few, keep shooting. And if your coach knows the talent that you have, then he will ask you to keep shooting, because you can't become a better shooter unless you keep shooting. Let me demonstrate now to you how you can become a better shooter. First of all, just let me shoot a little bit just to get warmed up. The thing I want to show you is that you watch me as I shoot the basketball, and you'll see all the techniques that I've just talked about come into fruition. As you can see right now, I'm just getting warmed up, but what I want to do is make sure, you can see the gun barrel, make sure that when you shoot, you notice right away that the ball is on the fingertips, the palm's not on it. I got the open window when I do shoot the basketball. The jump shot is shot in the area that whether or not you want to jump high or whether you want to jump just a little bit. The object is to make sure that you're comfortable, that you're relaxed, and that you're always in balance. Everything is squared up to the basket. A guy like Larry Bird shoots basically a set shot. He very seldom jumps higher than 6 to 8 inches. Another guy by the name of Michael Jordan, he jumps very high on his jump shot. And so when I used to play, I used to get pretty high on my jump shot. One of the most important things when you shoot a jump shot is to release the ball on the way up. You want to release the ball on the way up. You don't want to release the ball on the way down. Many players release the ball there. And as you can see, I'm shooting on the way down. What happens? I'm going down, the ball's going up, and what's going to happen is it's going to hit the front of the rim. It's going to be short. You can't shoot against yourself. You want everything to go in one motion. I want to be one fluid motion going up towards the rim. So I want to shoot on the way up, which is right there. I want to shoot on the way up. And you notice all the mechanics, the way I shoot, right now, you're seeing coming out. You're seeing coming out right now. You see, it's really just instinctive. When you shoot the basketball, it should be instinctive to you. You notice that I'm shooting the ball on the way up. Now, when you shoot the ball on the way up, you're going to be able to move further out to shoot the basketball because your legs are going to be much more powerful. And the thing about it is that it's going to be a lot easier for you to shoot, especially you young kids. Doesn't matter. You don't have to jump high. You can jump just that far. But make sure that you release the ball on the way up. When you shoot your jump shot, make sure that you have the proper arc on the ball. If you shoot a good arc, the higher the arc, the ball is going to rest. It's going to be able to hang around the rim. If you shoot a flatter arc like that, then the ball is going to hit the basket a little bit harder, And also, you're going to be able to have that ball come back to you. So you really don't need anyone to throw the ball back. Shoot on the way up and make sure that all the mechanics of shooting the basketball are in place. What I'd like to show now is different types of layups. Of course, for you beginners, I want to show first of all what you do on a layup. Number one thing is just put the ball in your left hand, especially if you're right-handed. I'll be on the left side in a second if you're a southpaw. But put the ball in your left hand just like this. Put your right hand behind it. And what you want to do is you want to push. You want to just push this ball up. I'm going to plant my left foot. I'm going to raise my right leg up. I'm going to explode upwards. And I'm going to push the hand just like this and follow through. So I'm here, the hand's there, it's behind, and I push the hand up. That is the overhand layup, and that's what every beginner needs to learn. That's the fundamental layup that everyone has to learn. So you explode up with your right leg, you plant with your left, you go up with your right, and you follow through. One of the things you don't want to do is broad jump when you shoot a layup. So when you come in for a layup, make sure that you plant that left foot and go vertical as much as you can. So don't forget, overhand is like this. Now if it's on the left side, what I want to do is do the same thing. I'm going to plant my right foot. The ball is going to be in my right hand. My left hand is going to be here. I'm going to push off just like this and follow through. I'm going to push off and follow through. One more time. I'm going to push off and follow through. That's the overhand layup. Now, the next layup I want to show is the one that everyone does, of course, is the underhand layup. Underhand layup comes from this direction here. You come and you put the ball up just like this. You want to just literally just follow through with your right hand. So as I come in, let me demonstrate this again. I'm just going to go off like this. So it's the same way from the left side. I want to come in here and I want to go up just like this. A pro layup, it really means it's just releasing the ball way up in the air. So I'm going to go first against the board. You'll see the ball above the square when I release it. There's not too many people that are going to block that type of shot. When you release it way up there to the top of the backboard and you can get that, they're not going to release it. Now, if you don't use the backboard, then use the front of the rim right here and go up straight. Now, one of the biggest things you must remember when you shoot the pro layup is that you must let go of it before the man jumps. If the man jumps at an angle out, you're going to get the shot blocked. But if I release it here and then follow through, it's going to come right down to me. See, so that's called the pro layup. Wham! See, they're not going to block that type of shot. So this is a shot that you can work on. You can work on it again off the board, up there, top of the backboard. Who's going to get up there and get it? Michael Jordan can't get that ball up there. I'm telling you. If I release it soon enough. If I didn't release it soon enough, it'll be in the stands. Same thing to your hand. That's the pro layup. Okay, the next layup we're going to talk about is a reverse layup. The reverse layup comes about, say you're on a fast break. You're coming down here, you're getting ready to shoot the ball here, but you see the man coming in to block your shot. As you go up here, you just reverse the ball over on this side and you release it just like that. So a reverse layup is coming on this side and going back over here, releasing it and letting it go. You can also do it from the left side. I come in here, I shoot here, but I come on this side and release it. Same way. That's called a reverse layup. I come in here, I start to shoot on this side, I come back the other side and release the ball. So what you want to do is make sure that you're underneath the basket enough so that you can release the ball. Now, the next shot I want to go over, next layup, is called the crossover layup. Crossover layup is like the reverse, except I'm not going to reverse. I'm just going to cross back over. I'm going to turn my body back in to the basket. So I come in here, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do just like this. Same way this way. I'm going to come over here, turn my body in, and I'm going to make it just like that. So you have the crossover layup. Come in here, turn your body in, and shoot it just like this. You have right hand or you have left. In, and shoot it just like this. That's your crossover layup. Next layup I want to go over is called the loop shot. As I would come down on a fast break, whether it be a a 3-on-1 or a 2-on-1 or even a 2-on-2, normally the defense would back up to protect the basket. Some guys come down and they'll come down here and they'll shoot a little jump shot. Maybe they'll pass off if someone's open. Maybe get the ball back so they can shoot the jump shot. What I developed was just called the loop shot. I would make this a long layup. What I would do is basically just plant my left foot on the foul line and follow the ball in and loop the ball up in the air in this fashion, like that, and coming down and getting the ball just like this. That's called the loop shot. It's also a good crowd shot. So you take that left foot and you throw it up and come right back under and you have the ball. You know, basketball's supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun playing out here, don't play. Take something else up. When I used to do all these different shots, they were fun to do. Left foot up in the air, and you should be right under the basket when you shoot it. Now, as you're coming down the court, you're going to be going a lot faster than I am. I'm only taking one step, leaving from the foul line. But as your momentum carries you, you're going to be under there real quick. So your left foot's there, up in the air, and you're right there. Just like that. That's called the loop shot. Okay, right now I want to demonstrate to you how to shoot the hook shot. Now, one of the basic ways to get into a hook is to do the George Mikan drill. Now, George Mikan was voted the best player the first 50 years of basketball. The best player to ever play the game the first 50 years. George Mikan was voted that. So, he used to have what we call the George Mikan drill. Now, it's just a right hand and a left hand little hook layup. So I'm going to start on the right side. We'll get the ball. And I want to lay the ball real soft up against the rim. I don't really want it to touch the rim at all. I want to just hit the net and come down to my hands. This will warm you up. This is a good warm-up drill to shoot this little hook shot, whether it be right or whether it be left. Now, after you shoot this shot, then you can move out. When you shoot the hook shot, make sure that you use the board. Make sure that you use the board when you shoot it. Make sure the ball rolls around. Notice the backspin I have on the ball. You have a lot of backspin when you shoot the hook. So, I want to go out. I want to use the board. Now, you do the same thing on the left-hand side. I want to use the board. Use the board. I get the ball here. I want to take it, lay it up real soft on the backboard. So whether you're from the right side, whether you're from the left side, or whether you're from inside, in front of the basket, here, shoot the hook. It's a very good shot. One of the best shots that's ever been invented was invented by a guy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He calls it his sky hook. He has scored over 35,000 points in the NBA, and he's still shooting it. That is his bread and butter shot. That's the shot that he shoots 75 to 85% of the time. How does he shoot it? Every center, every young kid that's going to grow up to be 6'5" or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or even 7 feet should learn how to shoot the sky hook. The difference is this. If I shoot a regular hook, I'm going to bring the ball in front of me right here. I'm going to bring it in front of me like this. The ball is going to be released from here. The sky hook is a little different. The sky hook is going to be released at the top from up here, and it's going to be all wrist. So that when I shoot the sky hook, I'm going to take the ball here. The ball's going to come up to this point right here, and I'm going to release it with my wrist just like that. Just like that. So, when you shoot the hook, make sure the hand's up and release it, and you shoot it just like this. Look at it again. Up. Get it up. This shot will not be blocked. Every center that's ever going to play the game of basketball should learn how to shoot the sky hook. I used to spend so much time in the gymnasium that, frankly, I got bored. And so to break the boredom, to break the monotony of just shooting the basketball all the time, I would develop some crazy shots. And the reason I developed crazy shots was, number one, to build confidence. You see, if I could do things that other kids my age couldn't do, it would build confidence. It would encourage me to go on, because if I could practice like that and do these things, it was very good for me, and it'd be very good for you. First shot I want to show you right now is this one. The level of success that you attain depends upon your God-given talent and abilities, good instruction, and practice, practice, practice. Remember, don't forget to do your homework.
Now you can learn even more of the secrets that made Pistol Pete Maravich into a basketball legend. Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball puts the fun in the fundamentals of dribbling. Pass like a pro as the pistol reveals the keys to his deceptive passing and artistic playmaking. Let the pistol help you with your homework by teaching you the drills that turned him into a ball-handling wizard. Pistol Pete's Homework Basketball. Shooting, dribbling, passing, and ball handling. They all add up to making your game great.